Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another fantastic week of ARCA racing here at the Backmarkers Racing League M99 GRAFX ARCA series. Tonight, we are at Charlotte, here for the Hot Laps and Warm Loops 125 presented by the Ambiguity music. So make sure you stick around. After this introduction, we're going to get into the qualifying and this race will begin right after this. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway, here at the Hot Laps and Warm Loops 125. I'm here tonight, thankfully back. It's very nice to be back broadcasting alongside my broadcast colleague, as always, Mr. Tyler Barnett. Tyler, how's it going?
Not too bad. I'm happy to be back up in the booth, and I'm excited for a good show here tonight. I love this racetrack, and under the lights, it's going to be a fantastic show, I'm sure.
Well, unfortunately, due to some health reasons, I was not able to participate in broadcasting of the Chicago Street Circuit, and just due to technical issues at the time, we weren't able to broadcast it, so we will be looking to do perhaps a replay broadcast of that in the future for those that we missed, because I'm sure it was a lot of fun. But as somebody who did attend it, Tyler, can you please give us a little recap on what went down?
Well, unfortunately, we missed out on a good one. So there was a lot of good battles, surprisingly for a very, very tight street circuit. There was a lot of side-by-side action, a lot of really, really clean racing, good passes, a little bit of door banging here and there. And even our championship rivals, Logan Monteith and Jacob Bradley, got into it a little bit. They were throwing a little bit of warm words at each other after the race, but overall, it was a fantastic race that we saw Cofield take home his second win in a row, which a lot of people didn't expect him to take home that win at Chicago. They were all expecting Johnny Rapp, who dominated early, pulled out to a huge double-digit gap. And after a couple pit strategy calls, Cofield was on top, and he never looked back after that. So it was a fantastic race, though, overall, and hopefully we can get that replay broadcast. It was definitely worth a look.
Man, I'm definitely disappointed in having to miss it. I mean, you know, it was one of the races I was looking forward to most. I think the Chicago Street Circuit is one of the most interesting courses, and I was really excited to see how our guys were going to perform there. But yeah, I definitely would like to try to go back and at least take a look at it and maybe get something up, especially for the hard racing that it sounds like went down. And of course, this past Saturday night, Backmarkers held our first ever special event, which was the Backmarkers Daytona 500. It was run in the Gen 6 cars and consisted of pretty much most of the ARCA roster participating in it. And Tyler, I know that you ended up getting back behind the wheel. How'd that work out for you, man?
Well, it was a lot of ups and downs and topsy-turvy moments. So that was the longest race I've ever done in iRacing by far, and it was probably one of the most stressful near the end as well. So throughout the day, I wasn't really expecting too much. I mean, I'm not the best plate racer there is, and I just kind of tried to get by, tried to click off those laps while, being my little aggressive self. So with that, I got spun early on. I saved it. Had to go a lap down at one point because another incident where I got spun and flipped by a teammate. So I was on my lid for a while. I had the toe into the infield. Had a Lightning McQueen moment where I almost went 2 laps down, but instead I only went one. So I was able to catch up to the pack, wait for another caution, get the lucky dog from there. Had to fight for that lucky dog spot, mind you. And then once again, I had to go through 2 wrecks. I had to get damage fixed from one and then use my last fast repair like 80 laps to go at Daytona, which is not something that you really want to do, especially with 20 something cars in the track coming
I'm
from the back
sure.
as well. But you know me, I made some 3 wide moves and definitely put my car where it shouldn't have been. But hey, you know how I run. I like to run on the edge and I like to have fun with it too. And near the end, we had a green-white checkered, very typical for the plate racing, and it was the Tyler and Tyler show. Him and I occupied the front row. Him and I got a good start, and he dove to the bottom where Michael Gudger, who, as you remember earlier this season at the preseason Thunder, he took out 2 of our competitors in a very Brian Vickers-esque wreck. He was shoving me, so I was worried that I was going to get turned. But that flat forward front end just glued onto my rear bumper in those Gen 6 cars because they're perfectly flat. And he gave me the shove of a century, blew past those 2, Brady Powers and Tyler DeTallo on the bottom. And from there, Gudger just tried what he could to get past me with a single car, but I was able to hold on from the back straight all the way down to the start and finish line. So that was pretty cool. That was definitely going to be one for the memory books. I'm still super excited about it, but yeah, I mean, that got me hyped up for racing again. So I got to knock this rust off a little bit more.
Yeah, it was definitely a great time. I want to give a big thanks to Dustin Bally and Jacob Bradley for broadcasting that race. It gave me the opportunity to watch it while I was healing up, and got to see everybody's work. I was watching my good friend Anthony Cangelosi run that race as he was streaming it on Twitch. So there were a lot of cool, unique perspectives to get to see. I'm disappointed I didn't get to maybe participate in it, but maybe in the future. Hint, hint. Maybe it'll happen. But yeah. As for everything else, I mean, it's been an eventful couple of weeks. The All Star race was also broadcast by Dustin Bally over on his channel, Bally Civic. That's his last name, BAULEYCIVIC. Again, big thanks to him for that. You can go check all of those out on replays, especially the 500. I think it's definitely worth it. It was a really good time, good race. There were some kinks in the broadcasting. They don't quite have our chops, but they pulled it off. They pulled it off really well.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're going to end up being good broadcasters too at some point. I'm sure we'll utilize them. They didn't do too bad though. I mean, obviously it's going to be a long race. It's going to wear and tear on them, talking the whole time. But otherwise, man, otherwise it was a great broadcast, great show, and yeah, I'm excited to see where they go in the future. Sorry, whenever I trail
Yeah.
off like that, I'm listening to the guys inside the chat.
That's all right. It's a perfect time as we're getting ready to grid up here before we dive into this final look here. Just take a look at Charlotte Motor Speedway this evening and look at the weather conditions. It's definitely going to be a little bit of a fun one for everybody. It's a little on the cooler side, so I mean, there's definitely going to be some interesting tire situations occurring here. And again, this race is the Hot Laps and Warm Loops 125 presented by the Ambiguity Music. Charlie Broderick, former radio host of The Drone Zone, creates music as the Ambiguity and sculpts ambient and warm drone sounds best suited for passive listening and enjoyment, streaming, and podcast background sounds under a partial Creative Commons license. Uh, the Ambiguity's music is available for purchase on Bandcamp, and it's streaming on Spotify and all platforms for that matter, from what I can see. But if you want to give a direct support, this is one of our racers, the number 16 for Off the Wall Racing, Charles Broderick. He sponsored this race and the next week's race at Bristol. So go over and give him some love, theambiguity.bandcamp.com, and go check out his tunes. I have listened to them, and I can tell you that while I've been studying at times or just kind of doing stuff in the background, it really is a nice sound to have going on behind you. So definitely go give it a listen.
I like it. We all love Charles and we all love music, so it's a great pairing.
And as we take a look here, waiting for this session to get ready to advance, we'll take a look just at the tower here. Pretty familiar names, as it tends to be in the... actually, here we go. I can grid right now. Some pretty familiar names in this top 10. But, I mean, at the same time, that hasn't really changed things in the long run, except for Jacob Bradley's name being there. Looks like he came in with a whopper of 30.5. I know that I saw guys talking, kind of almost trying to set bets against each other of whether somebody was going to be able to break a sub 30. And it looks like Jacob, he seemed pretty adamant that it wasn't really going to be something that could be done. And it looks like just couldn't quite do it this week. So followed up by him, teammate Johnny Rat, Payday Racing, occupying the front row. Followed by Dustin Bally of Off the Wall Racing, and right beside him, Michael Gudger. This could very well be Michael Gudger's night. Probably feels pretty invigorated from that second place finish at Daytona 500. So probably really looking forward to trying to use good pitch strategy, get himself up to that front, and maybe be able to outrun these Payday cars. Just after Michael Gudger, we got Logan Monteith in Evil Empire Motorsports. He's a two-time winner this season. And followed by him, another two-time winner, the back-to-back winner, Jonathan Cofield, for Payday Racing as well. And so he won at Auto Club, and he won the Chicago Street Course. So he's looking to pull off the hat trick tonight. Nobody's done it yet. Last time we were close, Jacob Bradley, he was on a 2-streak, and Jonathan Cofield broke it. So maybe we see that hat trick tonight. Then followed up is Brady Powers, and then Steve Loving with Vintage Racing. Still hoping to get that win for Steve here. Blake Hoppy getting into that 9th position. Blake showed an amazing run at Auto Club. So, I mean, coming in with a P2, almost won the race by all accounts. So, probably looking to recreate some of that magic here tonight. And Jay Bassett Off the Wall Racing comes in at 10th. But I want to pay attention to these two outside guys. In 11th, Austin Holbrook, who's had a rough season, just constant bad luck coming his way with wrecks and accidents just off of pit cycles or somebody getting caught up somewhere weird, or leading the race and getting taken out. But yeah, he's all the way almost in the top 10 here, and just behind him, Samuel Stoner. So I think we have a very, very interesting front row and a very interesting top 12 even going into this thing. Very, very excited to see what's going to happen here.
I am too. And while we're on the pace laps, let's get somebody up in here. A very special day for this person right here.
Uh-oh.
Let's see if I can bring him down to the bottom here. Come on, come on, come on. All right. I had to bring him through separate occasions here, but we got Mr. Nick Seraph up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
Not too much, man. Well, it is your birthday, and it is your final race with us for a little bit. Unfortunately, you got a very, very good job opportunity, and we just want to say thank you, happy birthday, and
Happy
we look
birthday,
forward to seeing you
Nick!
tonight.
Yeah, thank you, and I appreciate it. It's kind of bittersweet. My last race is on my birthday, so kind of a little upset, but you know, I'm still gonna try and go out there and put on the best show I can.
Yeah, man. Well, we are excited to see you put on another show like you did at Auto Club, and as the team boss, I just want to say thank you as well for giving me heart attacks as well as letting me rest easy at night.
You're welcome, buddy. Anything for you. You knew that.
Oh yeah, and I mean, you always know that you got a spot on my team.
No, don't worry. When I'm next couple months, once I get everything situated, I'm sure I'll be hitting you back up to get back on the team and try and get some wins for backmarkers.
Yes, sir. Well, you
That's
know,
it.
you got a home, like I just said, and we're excited to see where life takes you as well as where the race takes you tonight.
Yeah, this is gonna be tricky. It's a loose track, so we'll see where it goes. I'm just gonna try and play it smart and try and be there at the end. And maybe bring in some pitch strategy. I'll talk to my crew chief and see what he says.
Yeah, man. Well, I'm gonna be back to your chat here, and thank you for joining in, man. Just good luck tonight, man.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it.
All right, Mr. Nick Seraph. He is such a character at all times. I love that guy.
It's something I would love to point out here about Nick Seraph, just to really touch on that. You know, he's someone who's you know, had some rough starts, but recently he really picked it up. I mean, he was having an incredible time, and I believe it was Auto Club. It's really hard for me to remember where we were at, but Auto Club. How many spots did he end up making up before where he ended up finishing?
It was something incredible. I know he went from 32nd to 8th, and I can't do the quick math off the top of my head, but that's a lot.
Yeah,
That's
it
over
was,
20 spots.
It was very incredible as the pace car dives off, and we're coming around to green here. Welcome back to Backmarkers Racing, and the green flag waves, and we're off here at Charlotte Motor Speedway, one of my personal favorite tracks, so I'm really excited for tonight in general.
I am too. This is going to be a very interesting showing. I know Logan's very quick here. Obviously, Bradley putting it on the pole and fastest in practice as well. Very quick here, but it's all going to be tire strategy. Johnny Rapp getting super loose on the exit of 2. That's going to be a hot spot for a lot of these drivers.
Absolutely, and I mean, the exit of 2 is something, but speaking from a little bit of experience at Charlotte, as it is a track I do like to run anytime it comes up, especially officials, you cannot underestimate that drive out of turn 4. You have built up so much speed and momentum that if you get out of 2 with good exit speed, you're now barreling into turn 3. And if you don't give yourself the proper braking or just the proper let-off, especially braking, you know, when you get to the point where your tires are worn, you're just going to be in for an awful time. It looks like we have a car already down. That's the 2 car of Damian Marquez. Not sure what happened there for him, but he's off to the apron, which is good, as the leaders pull around him. But as I said, as you're coming out of turn 4, even if you manage to, you know, be pretty good and not end up sending yourself into a spin off of turn 4, a very, very unfortunate thing that can happen next is sliding up into that straightaway where it curves off and you still have to keep making a turn. You end up tapping that wall immediately. Oh, Jay Bast is around.
Uh-oh.
Something happened with him.
We're gonna have to go back and check that out. That is unfortunate for Jay Bast. I feel like he has just been having a bad near middle of the season. Just some bad luck. It looks like he got a little bit loose. Maybe got some help from the 12 car. But,
Unfortunate.
man, that is unfortunate.
Teammate, a little bit of teammate action. Yeah, that definitely wouldn't have been on purpose there. I'm sure there's a lot of conversation in that team chat right now about sorry. Oh, man.
Oh,
but
for sure.
There's definitely got to be some incredible stories going on leading into this, you know, coming out especially. I mean, we're in some must-win situations for people as we're on the 4th to last race here. As my camera decides it wants to jump around a little bit. Looking here at Jonathan Cofield now. But the current implications is, you know, Jacob Bradley and Logan Monteith are kind of the gut punch fight right now, trying to maintain their lead or to get the lead and pull away at this point. There's only so many races left to go, and I mean, if you don't have the if you don't have what it takes on one of those tracks, it could very well be your season over with, or if you have an accident, we could be looking at total things in general just completely getting mixed up there. So a lot of implications heading off into this one. As you were kind of watching, who do you see right now that has a pretty good chance maybe of pulling away with this race at this point?
Obviously, you cannot count Logan out. He's very, very good at tire saving. Dustin Bally, same thing with him. Last mile and a half that we were on, I think, was Atlanta. Same shape and everything. Dustin Bally was able to get it done. Johnny Rapp, he's still fairly new, but I mean, he had the race in the bag at Chicago, and he's looking mighty fast right now, and kind of made a little bit, but if he can save those tires up a little better than his teammate, and he should be able to run him down sometime here soon. Otherwise, I mean, you got Austin Holbrook up inside the top 10 now. He's always a dark horse, I feel like. Michael Gudger is going to be a very make-or-break race for him, I feel like, and we're going to have to get him up in the interview booth here. Don't forget that one.
He's made himself known. So if he has a mediocre 20th place finish tonight, Michael, you asked for it, buddy.
And we're going to let you hear about it. Otherwise, also, Steve Loving, he's up in 7th right now, following Jonathan Cofield. Can never count out Steve Loving. He has had some horrible luck recently, but he's setting up a pass right now as Cofield got very loose, and that's going to put Steve Loving up inside the top 6. Brady Powers having a very solid run already, up inside the top 5 right now, trailing Logan Monteith. But inside that top 10, I mean, if something happens late in the race, I could see any of these boys getting it.
So, as always, as we're coming up here on lap 10, we always love to get a little talk about, you know, from the Season 1 champion and the Daytona 500 champion at this point. We always like to get some input on the driver's perspective and what exactly it is they're facing on a track like this. With 75 laps left in this race, what is going to be the biggest obstacle? Is it going to be a situation of potentially having to go in for tires more than once? I mean, how burnt up are these tires going to end up being?
That all depends on the driver. You can definitely make this race a one-stop race. It was a one-stop race last season, and it was, I think, 15 laps more than what it is tonight. So we were able to one-stop it right in the middle. What this 85-lap race is going to do is going to open up the strategy big time. You're not going to have to stretch any fuel until late, and it's either you want to run that fuel out and have a shorter stint to the end, or you want to break it in the middle, or do you want to short pit early and then get a long run in your last stint, try to hold off those short pitters. So there's a lot of strategy that could be involved in this race, especially if we stay green. And here, it's all about tire management. And like you were saying, like, you may have to come in twice for tires if you burn them up bad enough. I know some of our tire killers, such as Jackson Samsel and maybe even Robert out there too, they like to burn those right fronts, and that could be a very, very bad night for them.
Peter Stewart got hung out to dry there a little bit. As there was a really good battle going on just back around 12th place or so in that 91 car. It was Sean Johnson, rather. Mr. Moonpie got hung out. The 91 car, Peter Stewart actually made a good pass on him. And a line formed on that inside. When they're coming around these corners, is there any point where the outside line is better, or is it all just kind of in the feel for the moment? Which one is probably going to experience the most tire wear?
Outside
multiple
for this
cars
tire model,
get loose there.
Whew. So the outside and middle for this tire model, you will start to burn your stuff up more. Every once in a while, it is faster at this track. On a long run, I think it could be a tiny bit quicker. Not much, but just a touch quicker, especially if you're trying to make a pass. What you can do is you can pin that car to the inside and make them burn their tires up by turning that wheel more, make them burn that right front. And that's a good defense strategy, and you will burn your tires up in the process, but you'll also burn the car to your inside's tires up a little bit more. So it's one less competitor to worry about, but those people in front of you may be pulling away if they're running single file. So if you have to, you could definitely make an outside pass. You're just going to have to hope that either A, a caution comes out, or B, you're pretty close to your pit cycle. So we have a good battle here forming. We have Brady Powers and Jonathan Cofield. Those two are going nose to tail right now after Cofield got back around Steve Loving. I know that we have a 3-car train right now with Blake Hoppy. We got Brian Brobst, and we got Michael Gudger. All nose to tail coming down the back straightaway right now. Austin Holbrook not too far behind them either. we have Carter Dyson, who last season here, he got an EOL, and he also had to do a drive-through on lap 1. And with there being no cautions, he rallied back to finish inside the top 10. He finished 7th after taking a drive-through lap 1 with no cautions. So
It's very impressive.
if that doesn't prove this guy's ability here, then I don't know what will, as he's making a move here to the inside of Peter Stewart, trying to put him inside 14th position.
And it looks like he'll probably get the pass on this. Would behoove at this point. Yeah, he does. Peter, as I'd imagine, for Peter at this point, the tire wear is not worth defending the position. Just inside the 15. We're only on lap 17. There's a lot of laps to go and a lot of time to make up.
Oh, we're side by side. We're side by side for second. Dustin Bali getting around Johnny Rapp. They were super close to making contact there. Rapp looks super loose. Logan to the inside of him now. It looks like he either A, hit the wall, or just wore out his tires so badly that he's just dropping like a rock now. But that was very tight with Dustin Bali. I thought he was going around.
And that's the struggle in general with a track like Charlotte. There really is a fine line between how you wear those tires. And as I was saying, you know, we were talking about these guys in the train back here. The number 8 of Blake Hoppy, the 11 of Brian Brobst, and then it looks like Michael Gudger dropped back a little bit, but he's still working with Austin Holbrook just behind him. These guys might have the secret winning ticket here at this point. Kind of work along each other. The 11 car is actually going to go for a pass. He feels like he's got a good run. But, you know, these guys running inside along each other, holding in tight. Brian Brobst gets very close to Blake Hoppy. Backs out of it. Looks like probably going to fall right back in line now here. At that point, you're burning up tires for no reason. Stay in that line, chug along to the front, get ready to pick off the guys who are burning it up, defending that top 5 position.
Yeah, that's right. And let's look inside your top, well, your top 20 technically, but in between the top 10 and the top 20, you got a lot of big names in there. You got Robert Brobst, who's running 16th right now, not a typical position for him. Adam Boyle's running 17th right behind him. Sean Johnson in 18th. The Talent running 20th right now, and Seraph in 22nd. Jackson also not having the best run right now in 23rd. A lot of these big name guys are not doing too hot tonight.
You know, and that's something that last season I think we kind of experienced as well. A lot of the early time, as a runner myself last season, you know, I was kind of making up the mid to backpack for this race. And I saw a lot of unfamiliar names of guys who usually were way up ahead. And I think it's just a matter of possibly burning those tires up too soon. Some of them, it might even be the strategy of kind of just laying off a little bit, you know, especially if you're gaining position or not losing position too much, and trying to pick and choose your moments, choose your spots, because everything you can do here is going to make the difference.
Yeah, that is for sure. And if you can limit the amount of passing, hopefully you guys can correlate on who's going to let you by, who's not going to fight you and whatnot. And that's what Cofield and Logan Monteith did. Logan just said go to the inside here, Cofield, and let him by. So they're both saving their tires that way. And this is going to be a long run game, it looks like. Dustin Bali falling behind a little bit more. 3.1 second gap.
Peter Stewart here. Sean Johnson looking to the inside of the 22 of Adam Boyles as well. Things are definitely heating up a little bit back here. Robert Brobst gets a little buyer's remorse, falls back in line. Going to probably try to save up for a good run and try to send it to that inside again. But I definitely think that the 91 car has shown some decent proficiency so far. He's stayed kind of hovered around this point. He's made 3 positions from his qualifying position. As the 5 car gets alongside him, he's definitely going in for it. And again, this is a question of seeing... Oh, Peter Stewart dragged the wall a little bit. I was going to say, you wonder, because I'm sure he's probably just going kind of wide there. Will Peter back out a little bit, or is he going to defend his position a little bit more? But I think that tire wear might finally be starting to do something to him. Looks like Adam Boyles may have... No, I was going to say he backed the wrong horse getting behind Peter Stewart, but Peter seems to have recovered okay. And we have a caution.
Oh, we have a caution.
Tara Motokurti's falling to the back. He is in the infield right now.
Yeah, I saw him spun out. So it looks like him and Stoner got together. I think he just drifted up from what I see here. Yeah, my replay camera's not having the best time right now, so you're gonna have to pull that one up and describe to me what happened there.
Let's head back here to the replay. As we take a look, Tara Motokurti He comes up. He's going to the inside of Samuel Stoner. He doesn't really give Samuel Stoner a whole lot of room there. It looks like he tries to back off it. Samuel Stoner gets real close to the wall there. Carter Dyson plows in behind him, unsure if Carter could see what was going on there. That 15 car completely sent the 51 around, and that is what brought out this caution here. Yeah, as we take a look,
that's unfortunate.
From the perspective of the 15, it looks like he saw the 65 get loose. He tried to get out of the way as well to not get caught behind him and rail him, but he ended up getting behind the other car as well. It's very unfortunate for the 51. Hopefully he can make some recovery here, but for Backmarkers, 25 laps.
Whoa. Yeah, I'd say so for this racetrack. I'm more surprised that Johnny Rapp didn't pit. He stayed out. That is going to be a very scary call, to say the least. Wow,
And it looks like basically everybody is pitting. Anthony Cangelosi coming in, Clifton Simmons, Dave Krajewski. Oh, why am I reading off names? Yeah. It's everyone.
At this point, you have to pit. I mean,
it
25
looks like
laps on these tires, you're going to be super slow.
Charles Broderick's looking to maybe just try to get his lap back here. He's not going in just yet. He's been kind of tailing around the back. Damian Marquez as well, not going in. Charles may also just be deciding to go in a moment here as well. So we'll have to see how that goes.
So, looking at the last times there, Jacob Bradley, his best lap of the race was a 30.716, and his most recent green flag lap, lap 23, before the caution came out and before everyone started slowing down, was a 32.039. So almost 2 seconds of fall off. Yeah, Johnny Rapp is going to get eaten alive, unfortunately. But it looks like Brady Powers stayed out as well. Those two are going to be occupying the front row. I know Brady Powers, he likes to make some big strategy calls. But we're going to go see what happens here. If those two spin their tires, that field is going to be looking like it's in the infield. That's not going to be good if both of those guys spin their tires. But we're going to see what these guys on fresh tires can do, how fast they can just spin around these guys, and it's going to be very interesting. It's going to be one of the biggest restarts of the season, I think, in all honesty.
You know, I'm thinking about it. It might not have been the best strategy call to have made by Charles Broderick at this point to have not pitted on that initial run. Because at this point, unless he's just feeling like his tires are okay and he's kind of rolling around back where he is, hoping to maybe just be in a good position for a lucky dog to get his lap back. Maybe he's banking on a green flag pit stop, but I mean, that's going to come much later at this point. I mean, he will be in the back of the pack, so I'm sure he doesn't feel the pressure of being up in the front, Charles check-upping a little bit for the group, but maybe there would have been a good time to go ahead and pit. I mean, he was already in position for the lucky dog, I believe, at that point. I don't know if staying out would have been the move there.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that one as well. I mean, you have to get tires here. You have 2 sets for a reason. May as well use those 2 sets, especially when presented to you at 25 laps into the race. So maybe they're banking on a late caution and they're going to take those tires super late and have the freshest tires in the field. I think that's what they're banking on, but I don't know. I don't agree with that call, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a questionable one. But we're going to have to see how it plays out. As I said, he knows he's fallen to the back. He'll be in the backpack, so I guess maybe he just didn't feel the pressure of being run up on and not being able to have the tires to make it happen. Thought Johnny Rapp was about to dive down pit lane for a second there.
I thought so too.
I was like, well, buddy, I don't know why you did that.
Yeah, these two on the front row. I am very curious as to how this is going to turn out. This is going to be very interesting. I got my eyes glued to these two.
As we're coming to the choose here, I believe
they both choose the inside. Wow.
Jacob Bradley sends himself to the outside line, followed by Dustin Bally. Yeah, just keeping this top 10 roughly similar to what it was beforehand. Austin Holbrook getting himself into the top 10 here. It looks like he's chosen that outside line as well. Michael Gudger coming to his inside. Adam Boyles made some good calls to get where he is. Oh, and don't even... Far be it from me to not mention his brother right beside him, Michael Boyles, has also gotten up pretty far from where they were at. Michael Boyles is up 21 positions, it appears. So that's pretty big mover stuff there.
Yeah, that's for sure. So I think they also played a pit strategy as well, and they either took 2 tires or something of that matter because they were pretty deep. They were in the 20s almost. But yeah, this is gonna be an interesting restart. There's a lot of different strategies rolling around.
And it looks like we have some love for number 29, Tyler to Talent, in our current viewer chat. Big thank you to Brandon out there for participating and chiming in. We love to see all of our fans getting in and showing love for their particular drivers. So when we see you do it, we're going to give you shout outs whenever we can. So definitely, I'm sure that makes you a little bit happy to see as well with our man to Talent.
That is for sure. As the green flag flies, here comes Johnny Rapp. Get a nice jump on Jacob Bradley right there. Cofield already on the back of that 55 car, antsy to go.
Yeah, he's getting ready
You're
to
gonna
move.
see the difference.
The
Look at this
21
difference.
car.
Look at that outside.
Oh, the 99 is real close in behind Jonathan Cofield there. That 58 car. And Johnny Rapp's falling back in line, the 50 car. Oh, wow! Dustin Bally right across the nose, right in front of the 55. And he's going right past Johnny Rapp to get into P2 here. Cofield, oh, he bumps into the 55 just a bit. A little bit of a door touch, a little love tap for him as he's going into that inside line as well. There is a lot of momentum to that inside at this point.
I mean, it's just that new tire. They're 3 wide for a second. A little bit of contact between Logan and Brady Powers. But yeah, there's just a lot of tire difference. That's what it was. Those two on the old tires are going to be just parachuting to the back of the pack right now. As you can tell, they're ripping the high side and they're getting freight trained.
Absolutely, and as you can see, Brady, it looked like, I mean, he definitely was in position. He probably could have tried to shove that 3 wide spot, but he kind of seemed to hold off on it a little bit. He's never really been too afraid to make a move like that, so I imagine he just didn't see that one ending well for him if he got there. Oh, Mr. Moonpie's in the wall. Sean Johnson dropping back some spots. He holds it up there to let some people by. Big passing action. Michael Boyles is getting left in the dirt. He's just been passed by 5 cars. The 88's now coming up on him.
I wonder how hard Dustin's going to be pushing to try and get to Bradley here. I'm thinking a decent amount. I mean, this gap is kind of maintained at 0.3 of a second, but Bradley has been super fast tonight. So hopefully Bally doesn't burn his stuff up too badly and he's able to hang with them. But we have another caution. Well, as we know, cautions breed cautions, unfortunately, and you have to look around, see who's the culprit of that one.
Dropping. Oh, there's a ton of names back here. Joseph Gregory, Tara Motakirti once again. Clifton Simmons, looks like potentially the number 2 as well. Damian Marquez.
Damian as well.
Unsure what happened here, but hey, I mean, we talked a lot about Charles' strategy here, but that might have just paid off for him.
Yeah, it could have.
You can never really know, I guess. As we head back to this yellow flag, it looks like we definitely need to come somewhere around let's see. I believe Clifton Simmons or so, somewhere around here. Yeah, oh wow. Okay, let's see. I'm unsure if my camera managed to pick up this replay. I seem to be having trouble with it. I'm gonna have to go to blimp mode for this because it is a lot going on. Let's take a look at this blimp view here in the replay. Try to catch up. We're gonna stay on the 47 car. JT Lauderdale for a moment. Whoa! Alright, as I'm trying to get a little bit of an idea, it looks like we need to go to Joseph Gregory instead. Unsure what's going on here. Oh no, never mind. It started way back here on the entry, and that's why it didn't quite come in. The 26 car goes for the outside. Looks like he might have just overshot it, and he ends up coming around the 05 of Michael Boyles. Michael Boyles fell way back here at this point, as we were just talking at that. The 26 car, he gets into Jackson Samsel. Jackson manages to save it, and he gets another tap off the 26, sends the 26 into the wall. That was just them both not having anywhere to go at that point. Dade Grajewski gets right out of the way, but the 51 car plows up. The 69 barely gets a tap. Anthony Cangelosi, Shades of Daytona, getting out of there. The 47 car goes up underneath the 26, and looks like Clifton Simmons gets underneath JT Lauderdale, and that is the collision there. As we take a look, and we go back a bit here.
No, that just sounds like a mess.
Yeah, the 26 car got some major airtime. We're gonna have to make a banquet award for major airtime, I think, this year.
Give him the Pro 4 Truck Award. Well, since we are getting ready to choose here, let's get in Michael Gudger really quick. I
Sounds
finally
good.
remembered.
He's in the
Let's
top
bring
10.
him
It's a
in.
great time.
Right, let's hear this fishbowl boy. Michael Gudger, you got us up in the booth?
Hi, yeah, I got you.
Well, finally, after a long-awaited length of time, it is now your interview time. Running inside the top 10, having a pretty solid run. How you feeling?
Okay, the car is really loose. I had to take tires that last stop because I burned them up because I did not know how to save them. But just gonna try to run a little bit more conservatively this time. Try to run it on the right wing a little bit more and pray that I can maintain my spot, not wreck.
All right, well, you're about to go green here, so we'll turn you into your team. But thank you for joining us, and good luck the rest of the race, man. Hopefully we can get you back in here for a top 3.
Yeah, thank you.
It was short but sweet, but his honest work. We got him, and we somewhat understood him with his fishbowl microphone.
Ladies and gentlemen, you can help with just a $1 donation. Each of you can help contribute to a new microphone for Michael Gudger.
Please help the poor lad.
And it looks like, are we coming up to
Well-
choose here?
It looks like it. So
Some interesting
apparently
choices being made. Steve Loving's
we're
going to that
behind.
inside. Michael Gudger choosing inside as well, deciding to line up along the rear of his teammate. Team owner, or partial team owner rather. I constantly do that, but it's just because he's the manager of the team. Robert Probst of Vintage. The team owner is Dave Rajewski. A lot of interesting choices made here. Blake Hoppy has found himself inside the top 5, fighting for some major contention here. Could tonight be Blake Hoppy's night?
I kind of hope so, man. I mean, he's been on the doorstep for so many wins now. I feel like he's been in the catbird seat a couple. He obviously had the really good run at Auto Club and just got unlucky due to the start-finish line being a little too close to the middle. If it was like Richmond, he probably would have had the win, but he's just been so close so many times, and he definitely deserves his first win, and that'd be really cool to see him get it here.
Absolutely, and of course, there's always the opportunity here for one of these two cars lined up behind each other. Payday Racing, Jacob Bradley, who's been leading most of these laps at this point, and teammate Jonathan Cofield. Jonathan itching for that 3rd win in a row, so you can imagine there's going to be some interesting moves here. As takeoff, good restart for Jacob Bradley. It seems like if he's
For
in
both of
control,
them.
he's going to get a great run. That 58 car is darting out behind him. The 21 not too far behind. This seems like that Pontiac is not quite able to get up with those Chevys for some reason.
Well, what happened there for sure was Jacob Bradley said, sorry, I was listening to the drivers once again. Interesting. But
Logan
anyways,
Monteith and
they're
Dustin
talking about a
Bally.
restart
Uh-oh.
violation.
And who's that?
Now we're going to have to go review that one over there. Jacob Bradley.
Did he restart outside of the restart zone?
Yeah, they were talking about him restarting outside of the restart zone. I'm going to go back and look at that really quickly because our rule is
Personally-
pace car has to go down pit road.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And as soon as-
I couldn't tell you. You're gonna have to go back and give us an update on that.
Well, he went on his own accord, but it was justified. The pace car was down pit road, and that is our rule. So Bradley's in the clear, and what happened definitely though was Jacob Bradley said, "Hey, we're gonna go right now," to Cofield in his team chat because obviously those two are teammates, and they just got out to a huge lead right now.
Absolutely.
But Logan Monteith,
Blake Hoppy
he's aiming
trading
down
with
Cofield.
Brian Brobst back here. You just gotta see, these guys have been trading this position for 5th, back and forth repeatedly here, giving each other sliders. That 8 car is really, really determined to stay out in front of that 11. They're definitely working. Oh no! What has happened? Jackson Samsel. Something's happened with Jackson here. I have to take a look back. I know those are words you don't like to hear.
Yeah,
Oh, he just gets
unfortunately.
completely sideways. He tries to bring it back onto track. He locks it up. Minimal damage to his front, but yeah, that was enough to be an issue. He might have some tire drag on that. He's gonna have to be a bit careful. Man, oh yeah. It just looks like maybe he tried to put some brakes on it before he merged back in, and it just went kind of crazy on him, uncontrollable. Really unfortunate there. Well, we're at almost the halfway point in this race. I mean, do we see drivers pit at this point and try to make it the whole way? Do we see them continue to try to hold it out and maybe do a late green flag stop? If you were in this position right now, what would you be doing?
Well, I'm going to hop into the car really quickly here in the test drive, and we're going to see what the fuel run says. So the fuel run says 64 laps. We'll just estimate like 62 to play it safe. So with that is going to put them on fumes at the end of the race, so they should be able to make it the rest of the way, but it's going to be all about that tire management. So I wouldn't come down pit road right now either. There's been a lot of cautions, not enough time to wear out your tires. Everyone's on the same strategy you are, except for Johnny Rapp, Brady Powers, and it looks like the Boyle boys, unless they went back down pit road and got some damage fixed. I think they were involved in that accident too. But I think Johnny Rapp and Brady Powers kind of dug their grave, and they're waiting for a late race caution to go get those second set of tires.
It's always interesting. That's the best part of how we have our setup done here. It's the ability for you to be able to be tapped into the driver radios and kind of also be able to hear race control calls and calls between drivers to really give that perspective of what they're dealing with on the track at the time. It's really invaluable. It's definitely what I think makes us kind of set apart. As Clifton Simmons looks like he's getting his lap back here. He's getting the lucky dog sent around. Really provides that unique perspective. Adds a sense of realism, I think, as well. We're looking at ways to kind of get more into having radio coming through at times, and we're working on a side project right now to get put together. It probably won't be for this season, though. But potentially looking at for next season, definitely looking at it for trucks. So keep an eye out for an announcement that'll be coming up regarding that. We're all really excited here in Backmarkers to be putting together some new content for you guys.
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm so excited to see where the future of this league goes. I'm loving every minute of it as well. What do you say we get Dustin Bally up inside the booth here?
Sounds good to me.
All right. Dustin, you got us up in the booth?
Yes, sir. How are you guys doing?
Not too bad. How about yourself?
I was doing all right. I forgot the rules on the restarts there, and I wasn't expecting Jacob to go there till the Geico restart zone, and he punched it and lost second place there. So we'll give him another shot here at this next one.
Yeah, I like it, man. Well, you're running up inside the top 3. Obviously, you lost a spot out to Logan as well, but inside the top 5, Carr looks very strong. What do you need to beat Jacob Bradley?
I don't think we're going to beat Jacob tonight. I think the goal is P2. I think that's very doable, so we'll just have to hope the cards fall the right way, and if we get out of here with a P2, I'll be happy, but yeah, I don't think we have anything for Jacob tonight, unfortunately.
He does look pretty quick, but hey, those late race cautions, they always play a factor. So hypothetically, if you are on the outside of him on fresher tires and things going your way, how hard are you racing him?
We're going for it. If there's a shot of winning, we're going for it.
I like it, man. Well, we'll let you go back to your team here and choose. So thank you for hopping in the booth with us.
Thanks, guys.
I like Dustin, man. He is a genuinely good guy.
Absolutely. It looks like he's choosing that outside line again. He wants another chance. He's going to be lined up behind Cofield here. But I wouldn't wonder if Cofield's going to have some kind of trick up his sleeve at this point. Blake Hoppy really riding that apron. What is the advantage for a car in the situation to ride the apron like that?
It saves a tiny bit of fuel. Not a lot, but it saves a tad of fuel. And we're
Sweet
also
look
getting a
here.
lot of heated drivers here.
Yeah, I just heard, I saw a ton of crash notifications in my live timing HUD here. Unsure what exactly that was all about. Maybe you can relay what exactly was happening there.
They were talking about somebody slowing down at the choose cone and almost coming to a dead stop, so we're gonna have to get our boy Jackson Samsel on the case on that one. He is our line judge, and looks like somebody's gonna be getting an EOL.
Oh boy. Well, as we're lined up here, second verse, same as the first, we're looking at a pretty similar lineup to what we've had for this top 10 the entire time. As we're getting ready to go green, the 99 getting on the rear of that 50. He is ready to follow him. That 50 takes off, and the 99's coming with him. Pretty good restart by Logan Monteith there. He gets clean around Cofield here. It looks like, oh, not quite. No, he's good. He's good. Me second guessing Logan Monteith. What a mistake on my end.
Yeah, that was a very, very good restart. Good judgment, and they beat Cofield pretty badly on the outside. That was interesting, because I wonder if Jacob and Cofield were communicating on that one, because obviously the restart before that, they were both like rocket ships nose to tail.
I don't know if you saw that just now, but it looked like Jonathan Cofield got like his rear just a little bit loose coming around that turn, and he lost some time, and now Dustin Bawley's coming to his inside. It definitely looked like he got held up there a little bit, maybe spun just a slight bit. And 21 throws a slider on him.
I have no doubt. I have no doubt about that. I mean, these cars get super loose on exit here. You got these cars nose to tail as well, the air packing on each other. It's gonna make these cars pretty loose. You're gonna see Dustin get a little loose, a little squirrely coming out of the corner, chasing it up the hill. Not gonna hit the wall though, but Blake Hoppy, he's about to make a move here on Cofield. He's gonna be fun to watch the rest of this race.
And as he does right down there, number 8, Mr. Excitement, Blake Hoppy trying to send it in. Doesn't quite get it. The door gets closed on him by the 58. Oh, the 11. The 11 was really looking for something there. Fires remorse immediately, falls right back in line. The 8 car put a little distance here between him and the 58. We're gonna have to go take a look back here, see what else we got going on in battles. As we head to the back, looks like the 5 and 29 are lined up behind each other, and just behind them, we also have the 88 of Kevin Baumler, the 65 of Samuel Stoner, and Robert Brooks has just easily caught up to the 12 of Austin Holbrook, and the 53 of Jay Bass. He is very, very close to being inside this top 10. Robert, of course, has shown some incredible proficiency. He likes to say that he lucks out a lot, but he also blames bad things on being unlucky, so I don't know if we can really trust his what he has to say sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of drivers probably think the same thing. I feel here, but all those guys that I was talking about earlier, staying outside of that top 20, racing their way inside the top 10 now. The talent who was running 20th on the dot earlier, he's in 13th right now. Oh, that's a big wreck. Cavan, he just hits the wall, pancakes it hard. Is going to collect Brady Powers up in it. Wow, that was a...
Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I'm having some audio technical difficulty for some reason coming out of our Discord. That's the reason Tyler Barnett sounded like that. Tyler, can you read back for me a little bit?
Hold on, we got some good Wi-Fi issues as per usual.
Yeah, let me see if I can adjust this while we're sitting here yellow. Don't worry about trying to drag anybody in here. Before I go back and rewatch this caution, we'll take a look real quick and see if we can adjust this issue. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. I have no idea why, but our mixing software decided it wanted to have a field day, sending some pops and ripples there on Tyler Barnett. Tyler, do you read us? You're back.
I got you guys. I was trying to beatbox a little bit. I was trying to start my my career in music for a little bit. Since, I mean, obviously, look at our sponsor here with the great Charles Broderick making some great music.
Nicely done. I like that plug for the Ambiguity music here. The Hot Laps and Warm Loops 125 here at Charlotte. I want to head back now and take a look at this replay now that we have this audio situation sorted out. I'm trying to get back to this yellow as I'm currently looking. Kevin just uses fast repair. Oh, it starts a little sooner than this yellow definitely was ready to come out. Let's take a look here. It happened just behind our cameras. We were watching live. Oh, he definitely gets that rear end loose. Smacks the side of Samuel Stoner just a bit. And ends up getting sent on his lid by Brady Powers, who had absolutely nowhere to go. Just had to eat it a little bit.
The show.
That is unfortunately how the cookie crumbles sometimes there. Let's take a look at Brady Powers, see if he's dealing with any significant damage from that. Trying to get a view of his car here. Yeah, he's definitely got some front end damage. That could be a big aerodynamic disadvantage at this point. But I guess he's not looking to pit unless anybody else is and loses track position. So looks like he's going to try to make a go of it. Yeah, just unfortunate at that.
Yeah, it's an unfortunate event. I mean, Brady really had nowhere to go in that, but at least he got some tires on that thing, and he's going to have fresher tires than everybody else. He should be able to start working his way through the pack here.
And at this point, we have a unique situation. Logan Monteith is in P2, and Dustin Bally is P3, giving them pick of the litter to separate Jonathan Cofield from Jacob Bradley here. If you're Logan Monteith on this choose, where are you going?
I'm probably just going to choose the outside, see if I can judge his start, and see if I can pin him to the inside early on in that run, make him burn his tires up or something. But you got to try something here. I mean, Bradley is quick tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And, I mean, Dustin Bally as well, you wonder... I mean, as I said, at that point, if I'm the 21 car looking at the 99 here, I'd be looking to see where the 99 goes. If he files in line by that 50, I probably go to the outside at that point so the 58 can't get a jump. And if the 99 goes to the outside, maybe file in behind the 50 and try to get a good restart on him. At that point, just get those payday cars away from each other on a restart like this.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea either, pinning that 58 as far back as possible. Trying to get that duo of Logan and Dustin. Those two are very solid together. They are always driving next to each other, it feels like, and
Logan,
I feel like maybe those two together.
It happened just like we said there. Logan took the outside. Dustin has taken the inside. Jonathan followed up behind him. Blake Hoppy running to that outside. He's going to advance some super positions here. He's lined up behind his team owner, Evil Empire Motorsports over there, or SimSport rather. It is SimSport, right?
Yes, it is SimSport now because all the drivers are part of Evil Empire SimSport. So good for them. They got to change their name to their actual name. But yeah, this is going to be a pretty interesting start. I'm very excited to see how Blake and Logan work together. Maybe they can push each other, get past Bradley a little bit. Maybe the 21 will let up a little bit.
Definitely some interesting choices. Brady Powers is definitely worse for wear right now. Hopefully he can do okay getting himself back in position here. Oh, the 69 just went around. What happened there?
Wow.
Hang on, we're not going green. Not going green.
Just saw that from the back of the camera. What exactly happened here with Anthony Cangelosi? Looks like he's trying to catch up to the pack. This might be a situation where he just came in a little hot and tried to break it. It looks like, yep, he broke and just sent himself down to just avoid hitting anybody. Best move there. Unfortunate, but better than taking somebody out under caution. He came in a little too hot.
Yeah, that's unfortunate, but you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Commendable decision to get out of the way.
Out.
Absolutely.
Yeah, rather take yourself out.
Yeah, it is very easy to misjudge the position of the rest of the cars on track when you're coming around to a restart like this. I mean, they're, you know, especially if you're coming around a corner and they're on that corner on that front stretch, they could seem so much further away than they really are. Um, and same thing as coming around that backstretch at that point. You think you got a little bit more time. Maybe he's still thinking it's Daytona. He has a little bit more road to work with. And you just come in a little too hot. You can't get the brakes. If you slam them brakes, that car's spinning anyway. So when you realize you don't have the ability to stop in time, just try to dive down, avoid hitting anybody. It's definitely unfortunate for his nose taking that damage. He was having an okay run, getting up to the higher 20s. I saw his name running all night. Not too bad for him, especially out of a 35 car pack. So hopefully this doesn't cause too much of an issue for him, and maybe if he hasn't burned a fast repair already, he'll be able to make a recovery here.
Yeah, for sure. He had a great showing at the 500, and like you said, he was looking pretty okay tonight. Not too bad, especially for his first couple races here in the ARCA League. But unfortunately, he's going to have a little bit of work to do, so we're going to see how he ends up tonight. I'm going to make sure I keep a tab on him as well.
Absolutely, and as we're coming around, I imagine pace car's diving off here. It is. And we're going green one more time. Let's see if the 99 can judge it. He does. He has learned the
Great
50s
start.
move. Follows right in line with him. 21
He's
went to the...
on his outside. He's on his outside. If he can pin him down there, that's going to be a fantastic job on Logan. He's going to get a nice run going into there.
It doesn't
Bradley's
look
gonna
like he
clear
has
him.
enough.
Yeah, natural momentum for Bradley there, but Logan with a big
right
move to the
behind him.
inside.
Whoa! Crossover. The 99 on the inside, real tight. He sends him out to dry. The 99 looking for his third win this season. He makes a big
Fly
pass.
job.
Whoa!
Crossover again. Wow, what a move by these
These
two.
low
These
cars
two
are
championship
dogfighting.
competitors. They
Dogfighting.
almost touch a little bit.
And just
Side by
behind
side.
them, Dustin Bally and Blake Hoppy doing much of the same.
Side by side coming off of two. They are 2 by 2 for a second, but Logan has the advantage on the outside lane. He's almost going to get clear. We're going to see what happens here. Logan is fighting hard. He's trying to pinch that car out to the inside and trying not to let him pass.
He's holding it hard. Is this doing worse for the 50 car or worse for the 99 car at this point?
It's doing bad for both. Those two behind him are loving this right now, but if he can keep on pinching that 50 car, then the 50's going to burn his tires up. Logan a little bit loose, so he's burning up those rears a little
loose
bit.
there too.
I saw that. That was a
shakes him.
fantastic save.
Looks like the 58 comes around him. The 8 car is going to have some adjustments here to do. The 99, you think he's going to cross over here again?
No, he's not going to have enough momentum. He's
Oh, no,
be
he
close.
is! He wants that inside.
He looks, and he doesn't get it. He was
decides
super
not
close.
to. The 21 car very close in behind Dustin Bally, following very close in Logan Monte's footsteps here. I imagine Logan's going to feel like if he has the run, he's going to try it again. And he definitely has a
He has that
run.
run.
He didn't get
Gonna
quite
follow in
enough.
line here for a second.
Might be a good opportunity to let them tires cool just a bit. Burning them up a little there. But this can only be good news for the guys in second, third, fourth, and fifth there. Oh,
another
and
caution.
there it goes. The other foot is dropped. Or the other shoe, rather. I don't know my euphemisms or my phrasings. Nathan Gentry's entered
I feel
pit
like
lane.
once we enter halfway points, our voices start to get sore and our brains just working way too much, and then we start shutting down a little bit with our euphemisms and our analogies and anything like that.
We just start
And then
making
we
up
start
new
devolving.
things.
Yep.
Oh, wow. Nathan Gentry channeling his inner Ross Chastain. Goes for a wall ride around Charlotte here out of turn 3. And then it's sent straight down below. Oh, Terran Curdy probably saw his life flash before his eyes, screaming, "No, not again." And Nathan Gentry is sending it to pit road. It's a self-spin. Didn't hit anybody else, thank goodness. But I mean, at this point, that might have... I mean, Logan was definitely in good position, but maybe this is okay for him still. Maybe he just tries to do it again. He's pretty much got Jacob's restarts dialed at this point. It seems like he has a good idea of when he goes. So, I mean, at that point, Does Jacob try to call his bluff? Does he try to bluff him? Does Logan try to call Jacob?
Oh, they all
bluff?
come down the road.
Are they pitting indeed?
Out. Dustin Bally stays out.
We're back live. Sorry about that again. We had to throw up the technical difficulty sign. I don't understand what it is, but for some reason, every once in a while, Tyler's channel here is getting some horrendous clicking noises. I'm unsure if that is on your side with Signal or if that's the mixing software, but it's definitely an issue. The 55 car pretty powers are in that inside. And we had some big pit moves here and some big strategy with a lot of people that stayed out, and Dustin Bally is in fact trying to say his race at this point. I guess him and Blake Hoppy feel like they're okay on tires, but I think something important to look at, that third position right now, Steve Loving. He's probably absolutely chomping at the bit right now, hoping to get up to that front area. And just behind him as well, Austin Holbrook. He had probably his best run over at, I believe it was at North Wilkesboro. His race ended up getting kind of cut short there. So a lot of guys up here. Peter Stewart all looking to make some big moves. And as we kind of look back, Jacob Bradley has fallen to 17th. So there is Jonathan Cofield as well, so 20th, Logan Monteith 19th. There's some big moves that are going to have to be made by these guys with 23 laps to go by the time, or 22 laps to go rather, by the time we go green. Tyler, I mean, what are you seeing at this point?
Well, I'm finally back into the race. Thankfully, my Wi-Fi decided that it would allow me to join in again. But I think that call from Johnny Rapp is going to be the best call of staying out early. Staying out really early, taking those tires late, and he is sitting 6th right now on fresher tires than anybody that has not pitted. Nick Serif running 9th right now. This is going to get really interesting for the rest of this race. If we can go caution free, I do think either Dustin Bally, Blake Hoppy, or Johnny Rapp has this race in the bag. But if not, I do think that these guys are in trouble unless this gang stays out.
And I imagine if we can keep this thing going green, I mean, how likely is it that, I mean, I've seen Logan Monteith charge from the back of a pack with no problem whatsoever, but if he can get a jump on Jacob Bradley and Jacob gets hung up in traffic, I mean, we could see some major upsets here.
Yeah, traffic is going to play a key role into this. This is going to be very fun to watch, from all these guys in the back with new tires, also with these guys on old tires fighting for what they know could be a win. Steve Loving up in the third too. You cannot count him out either.
Absolutely not. We want to thank all of our viewers for sticking with us throughout this race as we're coming around for that green. And want to thank our sponsor, Charles Broderick of the Ambiguity Music, for sponsoring the Hot Laps and Warm Loops 125 here at Charlotte. Once again, Charlie Broderick, he makes incredible ambient and warm drone music. He has been described as lush, welcoming, and reflective, and at worst, as an air conditioner. You can find the Ambiguity's music for purchase on Bandcamp, which is the best place you can support him. It's also available on all your major streaming platforms as well, Spotify, Apple Music. Just look for The Ambiguity, but if you want to give some direct donation help, you go to theambiguity.bandcamp.com. Show your support. Thank you very much, Charles.
Hey, I've seen that luscious hair. He's not lying. It's like a lion's mane.
As the pit
But
car,
here we
the
go,
pace car
getting
dives
lined
down,
up.
and Dustin
Dustin
goes out.
getting a nice launch. Dustin getting a
Great
nice
launch.
launch. We have Steve looking to the inside of Blake Hoppy, but those three are going to settle out 1, 2, 3, and Austin going to settle in behind them at number 4.
And Steve is
Steve
not
sends it in
settling
there.
for anything.
I lied about that, but here comes Johnny Rapp too on the outside lane. He's going to have some great momentum. I wonder if he's going to put it 3 wide. This is going to be wild if he does. He thought about it.
I see Jacob Bradley in the back of the pack dive into the inside. He has moved up to 14th. Logan is stalled out around 18th. 27 is just strung out here, the 12 car. And Johnny Rapp is trying to come with him.
Both of them.
Oh!
Big wreck.
Oh no!
Big wreck.
And as if
JT
the
Lauderdale
curse-
almost took out both of your championship contenders.
And it happened in the front as well. Johnny Rapp got into Austin Holbrook, sent him into the wall. I guess a couple of situations occurred here. Where was the first one?
You're gonna have to
JT
go look at
Lauderdale.
exit of turn 4.
Yeah, let's take a look here from...
Look how close that was with Logan and Jacob Bradley.
So we take a look. That just looks like a situation JT was very uncomfortable in. Bad tires. Jacob sends it deep inside. Brady sees it. He has to dive inside as well. JT tries to... I'm not sure. It doesn't seem like he's in too bad of a position. It looks like the exit here, probably getting some air off of that 55 car, was enough to push him just too much. And the 32 behind him as well. And he gets turned around somehow. Does not touch the 99 car. The 14 car hits the 5 on the way out as well. Behind them. Man. And with that, what are we looking at here? In terms of implications, Johnny Rapp, Austin Holbrook both have to come down. That's going to be advanced positions for Jacob Bradley. He's going to be just outside of the top 10 now. Logan Monteith right behind him.
That is a heck of a comeback already by those two. That's deadly for the field. They needed to keep those guys back there as long as possible with some green flag laps in. But yeah, this is going to get really hairy to the end here. I'm going to have to load back into the session because apparently my graphics card is now failing me.
Boy, oh boy, are we just having a great time with computers recently, eh, Tyler?
Oh, definitely. I love my computer. Woohoo. Thank you for your service. We need to get some computer sponsorships up in here.
Paging Logitech, paging CyberPower, iBuyPower, Origin PC, whoever. Give us some sponsorship, please.
Please, we need this help. We could do the broadcast, we just can't.
The 2 car
Play the
gets the
video.
lucky dog. Damian Marquez back on the lead lap. Was he the last car that wasn't on the lead lap at this point? Or is Nathan Gentry
Apparently.
still, I believe?
You still got me here, right?
I do.
Perfect, alright. Well, now that I am back and almost into the session, we got 25% more. This has been an absolutely fantastic, flawless broadcast from start to finish, from even the pre-show.
No worries whatsoever, right? It's going perfect.
Technology has never failed us.
And, we are not coming to the choose here just yet. I was about to jump the gun, thought we were coming there already, but nope. We'll be coming to the choose here. It'll be 17 to go, and it looks like we'll be going green with 16 to go. Is that too insurmountable with Jacob Bradley now in 10th, Logan Monteith in 11th? Is that too insurmountable for them to get around Kevin Baumler, Abraham Kalufa, Nick Seraph, your boy, up 15 positions into 7th, Samuel Stoner,
Hold on, Nick.
and Michael Boyles, Peter Stewart, Steve Loving, Blake Hoppy, and of course Dustin Bawley. I mean, this has got to be the godsend moment for guys like Dustin Bawley and Blake Hoppy and Steve Loving, who are anxiously looking to get this win for this race. I mean, you can only hope that this 50 car and this 99 are going to get pinned to the back for their sake if they want to see this checkered flag, because those guys both have spectacular runs getting through a field.
That is for sure. I mean, anybody inside this top 10 all the way up to 9th is praying right now for either a quick caution that runs down quite a few laps or a long green flag stretch that blocks those two, because those three up front, they have a good shot to win. They're on relatively new tires in comparison to the rest.
And they're getting to
But,
rest them on cautions, which is good.
Yeah, that is very true. Gonna cool them tires down and just not put that wear on them. But yeah, this is gonna be really interesting. I think this is gonna come down to it. It's gonna take them a second to get their tires warmed up, those with the fresher tires, and they're gonna have to be using that outside because all those other guys are going to be pinned to the inside lane as well as fighting each other for position. So those fast guys with the new tires, they're gonna have to be sending it on the outside lane, and we're gonna see some real Larson lines here. We're gonna see who can run that fence better. Obviously, we have Logan the Dirt Boy. He's very comfortable with that fence, and Jacob Bradley obviously has the skill to do so as well. So it's gonna be very fun to watch.
Absolutely.
Also, man, I'm super excited for Steve. I want to see if he can get up there, because as much as I want to see like guys like Nick win or Peter Stewart win or Blake win and Dustin as well, I mean, Steve, he has just been so unlucky this season, and this has definitely been one of his best runs, and hopefully he can close the deal off here.
I would hope so for Mrs. Loving's sake. I'm it's very, very grateful for all of the wives who are allowing their husbands to step away for a night and join us here to make this exciting. Hopefully they can bring home a win so that you guys can be proud of them finally.
Finally, he says.
Finally.
Well, well, we're gonna see how this all plays out. Both Jacob and Logan took the inside line, and they are very close to the front now. They are only 3 rows back from that front row.
And there goes
So
the
it's
restart.
gonna be very interesting.
Ooh, Steve Loving's
Those
right
two-
with him.
Wow, what a start by Steve.
Wow, and he just blasts past the 8 car. You can see the determination. He knows what's happening here. He cannot let this advantage, this opportunity pass him by. But you know Blake Hoppy. He is itching and scratching and clawing his way to the top. He is determined to get himself a win this season. He came so close at Auto Club. He is not looking for runner-up tonight.
No, he is looking for that P1 spot, and it'll all put him back into the championship as well. If Jacob Bradley has to miss another week due to the Road to Pro, he's going to be out of the championship, actually. So it's going to come down to Blake and Logan.
Jake Bradley, though, also on the outside. He is just outside of the top 5, battling Michael Boyles. Logan Monteith coming to the inside of Nick Seraph here. The 27 and 8 car
Dustin
battling it out.
Dustin opening up that gap just a little bit. Peter D. Stewart right there watching those two battle it out, letting them burn their tires up. Jacob Bradley, like you said, up inside the top 5 now. He's waiting patiently as well. But Dustin Bali has about a second gap on those guys, especially those guys on the newer tires. He's going to have to run for his life if he can. We're going to see if Peter Stewart and Bradley get into it here, going side by side, going into turn 3 and 4. But Dustin Bali is running for his life right now.
Absolutely, he can see in his mirror. Oh, Jacob Bradley. I did just realize, I know you just said about it, but it's like it did not register that he was right there until I looked up and there he was. Jacob Bradley right here behind Steve Loving. And Jacob just, I guess, has much better tires at this point. He's making passes on the outside. And that is not what anybody wanted to see here.
You know, that is not what Bradley and Logan wanted either, because those guys that stayed out, they got a fresh set of tires in the pits right now. So I'm going to assume that Dustin, Blake, Steve, Peter, Michael, Nick, Samuel, Carter, they're all going to come down and get some fresh tires.
Run them down.
Yeah, they're going to get some fresh tires, and they are going to be running with a full head of steam.
See what happened
let's
here.
see the last lap time.
Oh, I'm unsure. It looks like
Bradley.
The number 5 car blinked and something happened and the 16 car got loose out of it. And that just was it for Tara Motokurti and Damien Marquez. I honestly can't even tell you what happened there. There was some blinking situation. I'm unsure. I have to take a look at that. Post-race, see what happened there exactly. I couldn't even tell you.
So here they come. Let's see if Blake goes down pit road here. I think pit road should be open. Yep, Blake's coming down. Oh, I'm surprised it's just Blake coming down. There should be a lot more. I mean, I would if I was
wow.
in his position. I'd be coming down pit road asking for tires. Unless these guys just don't have the tires. But I guess they're assuming that there's going to be one more caution. Everyone else is going to come down pit road. And wow, that's a big decision right there.
The unfortunate aspect of this is that Jacob Bradley's going to choose the opposite of Dustin Bally here. And he's likely going to get the shotgun start. And Logan Monteith, the best challenger for Jacob at this point, just too far back. I mean, this is not a great situation for these guys. They needed them to be pinned back there. In other story,
This is
Jonathan
gonna be
Cofield is
a
stuck back
showdown.
Jonathan Cofield's stuck back in 15th. He still has an opportunity to make up some places, but it does look like the hat trick is likely not looking to be a factor tonight, as it looks like most likely Jacob Bradley could be coming around to secure his third win of the season and get back on that dominant streak.
Yeah, that is unfortunate for him. He looked solid very early on in the race, but yeah, unfortunately he's just gonna be deep in the pack right now. But let's look inside the top 10. We still got Nick Seraph up in there, up in 8th right now. He's hanging on with a great run in his final race for a minute. And then Samuel Stoner too, up inside the top 10. Carter Dyson, who was running like 20 something early on, he's up inside the top 10 as well. Right behind him follows Cavan, who was upside down almost in the grandstands a while earlier. He's doing solid. Sean Johnson, he's looking 11th right now, and looking like everybody's filtering up, some people going down pit road. So as the field filters out, Sean is going to be sitting 11th, which he was also struggling early on. Cavan now up inside the top 10, Carter 9th, Samuel 8th, Nick in 7th, Logan 6th, Michael Boyles in 5th, Peter D. Stewart in 4th, Steve Loving 3rd, Bradley 2nd, and Dustin is going to be leading that charge. I wonder if Steve and Dustin are going to correlate another green flag start where they can kind of jump in front of Bradley and try to fend him off together and maybe even get Logan back into this fight.
I would say that definitely I believe the best option is for that 27 to probably get in line with the 21. They know each other pretty well. They can definitely get a good start off of one another, but it makes you question instead if the 27 believes he might get a better restart off of following Jacob Bradley, maybe follow him around to get maybe a chance to fight him, or perhaps a P2, which would definitely be Steve's best position, finishing position of this season so far. I mean, there's a lot of variables at hand here.
I think Steve's just going for wins now. I don't think second or thirds mean anything to him.
I think Steve's also realistic when it comes down to brass tacks. He's going to give it everything he's got, but if he has an opportunity to be P3 or P2, he's going to take P2.
Yeah, that is for sure with Steve, but I feel like if given that opportunity, this man is going to be flying. So here we go. We have Dustin Bally. He's going to take the inside. We have Bradley on the outside. Steve back on the inside. There he goes. Peter Stewart on the outside here.
Michael Boyles on the outside behind, but who's right behind Steve Loving? It's Logan Monteith. And just behind Logan, Nick Seraph. Still hanging out, holding into this top 10. I'm sure trying to fight and see if he can sneakily get himself into a top 5 finish here. And it looks like, unfortunately for Blake Hoppy, that tire taking decision was just not... I mean, who could have foresaw that would end up happening, I guess, but that ended up not being the best thing for him tonight. He might get a good run to catch up, but it's unsure, I mean, in 8 laps, what he's going to be able to do with that. I believe in Blake Hoppy. I know he can do pretty much anything, you know, that he sets his mind to in it, but he's going to have a lot of traffic to navigate, and those guys are going to get real squirrely as this race gets close to coming to an end.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun to watch.
It's hard to be impartial here, but I'm always somebody who roots against a total, you know, steamroller of a competitor, the Jimmy Johnson. So actively rooting against Jacob Bradley might be unprofessional, but you know what? It's because he's so good. Whoa, big push!
Start!
Big push by
Go
Steve Loving.
Loving.
And
Huge
just like
start.
that,
was
sends
impressive.
him. The 50 car already looking to the outside. The 99 car wants the inside. 27, Steve Loving is in the Hornet's nest. The 99 car going to the inside. Logan
Logan going for the.
Logan Monteith
He's got
on the
it.
inside. It was 3 wide for a
He's
moment.
gonna get
Steve,
next to him.
Steve has been sent up track instead. Logan is coming to fight. Steve not letting him by easily. The 50 car is on the inside. I guess Dustin just did not feel he had the ability to hold him off. Whoa, the 523.
Michael Boyles.
Michael Boyles. He saves it. No caution. We're still green.
What a save. Here comes Logan, though, gonna get around this 21 car here sometime soon. He's gonna have to, or the 50 is gonna be walking away.
What an unbelievable moment we're here. In the 50 car, he is far out already, but he's not so far out that it's impossible to catch him. You just need a good run. The
Logan
99
very
is
loose.
very loose. Loose is fast, as they say, but the 05 once again below the blue line here. Unsure. He's just might just be getting way too loose, maybe overdriving it a little bit, or maybe his tires are just kind of worn. But the 99 car, Logan Monteith, really is looking to get past Dustin Bally here. Dustin, I'm sure, is probably thinking, hey, you know, I like P2. I like where I'm at right now, you know? No need to just let Logan waltz on by him. He's still got a chance to fight and get up to Jacob, too. Jacob could make any number of mistakes, how unlikely it is. And you know, end up costing himself this race. That 99 car, Logan Monteith, is going down to the bottom. The M99 GRAFX machine, oh, gets real tight.
They touch.
They
Nice
touch and
save.
get shaken loose. Logan has to recollect himself, and Jacob Bradley
That
is
not what
pulling
he can
away.
afford right now.
He is over half a second in front of Dustin Bally. And as I said, Dustin just looking at this opportunity here and saying, you know, I don't have to give you this position. I'm gonna race you for it. This top 2 is good for me, and I can't blame him for that. That's all hard racing. It's not like he's very slow. Logan, unfortunately, just is caught up here. I believe Logan might have had an opportunity to run down Jacob there, though.
I believe so. I mean, he was in his sights, and I think Logan was destined for that one. He was driving the wheels off that thing,
Peter
and
Stewart challenging.
unfortunately, just burned up the tires a little too much.
Yes, indeed. Peter Stewart challenging Steve Loving. And he gets around him for the most part here. The 99 car, oh, wow. Logan is really strung out back here. He is losing some time off of Dustin Bally. Peter
Yeah, I wonder if
Stewart
we got a little bit of damage there.
clears Steve Loving, sending Peter Stewart to P4. And who's in just outside of that? You got Carter Dyson looking to make a move here on Steve Loving with 2 to go here at Charlotte Motor Speedway.
Caution, yellow flag.
And it's
No
Blake Hoppy
way.
with 3 to go. Probably the only saving grace Logan Monteith had at this point to challenge Dustin Bally as well, as he was pulling a second away. Jacob Bradley is now going to have to hope that he can make a big position gain and hold here on this restart. I'm in utter
Wow.
disbelief.
Wow.
Let's see what happened here as we head back. Whoa, this started way earlier. Something happened with Brady Powers. Let's head and look at Brady Powers here as we go to the blimp to try to take all of this in. Oh no, it started with the 69. He hit the wall coming out. That part that we talked about, I said before, turn 4. It's easy to slide into that wall. He comes down. It's just enough, and it taps the 55. 55 could not slow it down. He drove across the entire infield, and he comes right up into Blake Hoppy, and it kills Blake and the 69. And the 55 is back in on it. That is really not great for those 2 cars, the 55 and the 69 car, nor the 8 car.
Yeah, that is quite unfortunate. Brady Powers disconnecting. I know he was getting a lot of flack in the driver chat, so we're gonna have to go police that a little bit later here tonight. But this is tempers are getting warm here tonight, fellas.
Well, the unfortunate aspect, I mean, he definitely probably shouldn't have come back and joined the track there. But, I mean, anybody can tell you, when you're going through that grass, brakes aren't a thing. He could have been one of those brakes standing up on top of him the entire time, and if he couldn't get it, I mean, also, if he couldn't change direction, if he couldn't steer it into pit lane, then straight might have been the only thing that was happening for him. It's unclear. It'll definitely have to go back to race control to take a look at inputs and see what he was trying to do there. But, I mean, yeah, it's a good point to point out. You know, anything could have happened there for him to have ended up in a situation where he couldn't stop.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just how the driver feels on that one. I mean, like you said, it's hard to stop once you hit that grass and can't really do much about it except for try to keep it as low as possible. But this is going to be very interesting. This
Yes.
finish is going to be very, very interesting.
And a point to say to that is, when he was hit immediately into the grass. He didn't have a moment to think about it. He was immediately there. So, you know, this is it's definitely gonna have to be kind of looked back on, see exactly how that played out. But this has huge implications as we go into a green-white checkered here, our first green-white checkered. 3 to go. I mean, as Kyle Busch famously said this past weekend, if this was 1998 rules, Jacob Bradley has won this race. But no, we're green-white checkered, of course, and that's because in iRacing it's a little bit more fun than probably in real life when you have to worry about what happens to your car. So there's some big implications at play of what happens here. Dustin Bally very likely probably going to that outside, but I can imagine, that means Logan Monteith is trying to get behind that 50 car. But if the 21 goes to that outside line, I mean, he very likely could end up being hung out to dry there.
Yeah, that's a good point there. It's going to be very, very interesting to see where everybody chooses here. It's going to be interesting to see where these guys stand. Like Carter Dyson running in 6th place right now. Peter Stewart up into 4th. We're going to see where these guys choose, and maybe they can be a late factor here in this race. Get a good start, accidentally give the bumper to the 50, send him up the track, and take their first win of the series in their career.
Absolutely, and Steve Loving, now at this point, depending on where he goes, Carter Dyson is looking at an opportunity to get himself a top 5. 21 is taking the outside there. Dustin Bally, Logan Monteith is going to slide up. Those Lowe's-inspired cars, they're both going to be nose to tail there. The Lowe's, I believe that's, you have to correct me, is that the Foundation, Jimmy Johnson's, or?
I think so.
I mean, this outside isn't terrible either. I mean, you got Dustin Bally and Steve Loving lined up. I mean, Steve gave a huge shove to Dustin that sent him way ahead. Anything could happen here. If they could get enough of a run, I mean, it could be at least something that keeps them competitive here for the both of them.
Yeah, that's for sure. So as they come down the back straight, do you have any predictions?
I mean, my easiest prediction here would be to put it on Jacob Bradley, but you know, frankly,
any bold predictions?
I want to be a little bold. I think maybe Logan and Jacob get a little tangled, and maybe Steve Loving pulls this thing out finally for himself. There's my bold prediction.
This one here, the big 1-5 sitting in 6th place right now. He's gonna win it.
Oh, there's a restart. Big restart off the 50.
Jump.
Not too bad on the 21. Dustin gets an okay restart. He just doesn't have the speed and grip that Logan has. Lets him by. And Logan now very, very easily looking to run down this 50 car. Does he have what it takes? Is he making up the time? I mean, Jacob gets immediately 0.2 of a second ahead, and it looks like it's staying kind of similar. Logan not quite gaining a whole lot here. as we're coming to the white flag, 1 to go. And this might be a foregone conclusion. Jacob Bradley looks like he might have just sealed his fate, taking his 3rd win of the season.
Oh,
Logan,
sideways.
way too loose. Dustin Bally gonna dive in. Dustin once again says, P2, here I come. Steve Loving looking to that inside as
What
well.
a
He'd probably love a podium.
Logan.
And just like that, Jacob Bradley wins the Hot Laps and Warm Loops 125, followed by Dustin Bally, Logan Monteith, Steve Loving, and Carter Dyson, rounding out that top 15. That top 5. It's late. I'm very excited.
Well, I got some I got some bad news for you, though, unfortunately.
Oh?
This Wi-Fi is no bueno. I can't even hear you anymore. I can't even hear a coherent sentence out of you.
Oh boy. Well, that is
Well,
unfortunate.
with that then, we're gonna bring Mr. Jackson Samsel up into here, and you guys could do those post-race interviews. And I will try to remain as quiet as possible if I can hang in there. Jackson, you got us up in the booth here?
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Hello?
All
can hear
right.
you.
Well, I got some bad news personally. Your boy's Wi-Fi obviously not the best, and I can't hear a word anyone's saying anymore. I am just cracking out. So we brought you in here to help out with the post-race interviews, if that's okay with you. I know you didn't have the best run, but yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. So I believe that Tyler can't hear us at all, so it doesn't matter what you say back to him right now. But
Okay. Fine.
I believe we have some people that we can definitely talk to here. I mean, first of all, you're here. How'd that race go? I mean, you finished in 20th. It's not obviously your best finish of the season, but I mean, there were 35 cars on this run. So, I mean, how did this race feel tonight? What was your biggest issue you ran into?
Biggest issue I ran into would be getting in incidents that I either A, didn't deserve to be in, or B, caused myself. Just avoiding those incidents would be good, and then I made a bad strategy call there at the end, and I didn't pit the first time, then I pit the second time, so it kind of moved me back, but I knew those tires wouldn't stand.
Man, absolutely. It looked like it definitely came down to a tire battle for most people by the end here. I mean, we're looking at a situation. It looks like Charles Broderick ended up having to drop out entirely, putting him in 34th due to an issue with his PC. I want to thank him again for sponsoring this race. The Ambiguity music. Please do go visit theambiguity.bandcamp.com and go check out his music. It's available on all streaming platforms, but streaming platforms don't pay well. So go drop him a little donation and help buy him a cup of coffee or something, or pay his rent. I don't know. Just go help our boy out. As we look here, I mean, there's obviously a number of people we could talk to. I mean, it's a question of, do we pull in people that would be loose cannons? Personally, I'm thinking we kind of have to talk to Blake Hoppy here.
I'm thinking on the same page with you, because it's you either want the drama first or you want somebody who's going to be chill.
I think we get to the excitement already and get Mr. Excitement in here. Pull Blake Hoppy in.
Sounds good.
Hey, Blake, it's Rain and Jackson up in the booth. You got us?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Hey, man, you were having a fantastic run of it out there. Pretty much heading up into that last pit cycle where it ended up being you the only one who ended up pitting. What exactly happened there for you? Were you just expecting more people to pit, or did you just have to come down at that point?
Yeah, I saw Jacob and Logan were there kind of 5th, 6th already, or 3rd, or whatever he was. I knew that there was 15 or 16 that stayed out, and I don't know why nobody pitted. I mean, there's no way we were going to beat Jacob, and I think we're just all going for wins at this point, so I didn't see another option there.
Absolutely. And then, of course, you got caught up in an incident there towards the end, which definitely didn't help your positioning. What exactly happened at that point? Can you talk us through it?
It looked like the 69 car hit the wall and came completely down the track into Brady, and I'm sure Brady was mad that he came down the track into him, but then he just completely pile drived back into the track and took out like 4 guys. I just think that's unnecessary and don't think there's any room for that in this league.
All right. Yeah, it definitely was interesting to see what happened there, but we're definitely gonna have to hear the ruling from race control on what exactly happened there after an investigation of it. But I mean, after all, like I said, can't really discount the incredible run you had. You were my dark horse for a long while. Really thought you had some good speed to get up there. Just seems like an unfortunate pit cycle ended up sending you to the back, and that was enough to hold you down. So, are you looking for Bristol next week?
Yeah, Bristol's probably my best track, so definitely put me on your list for that one too.
Absolutely. Well, we're gonna be taking a look here at you, for sure to see what you got going on. Wishing you the best of luck. Anybody you want to thank?
Just the usual people. I want to thank Logan for having me on the team. Family, friends that may be watching. I hope everybody had a good time and we put on a good show.
All right. Thank you very much, Blake. I'll go ahead and bring you back to you guys there. And look forward to seeing what you can do next week. Jackson, if you
Thank
could
you very
drag him
much.
actually, because I cannot for some reason.
Yeah, I can put him back in there.
All right. So I mean, yeah, absolutely a heartbreaking finish for Blake Hoppy, who had a very strong run all night. But I mean, is there anybody you think of at this point who also might be somebody we pull in here? I mean, I'm kind of feeling perhaps we could end up talking to Michael Gudger once again. He finished in 11th place, lost some positions, but managed to keep himself pretty high up there for a decent finish.
I think he's one guy you can talk to. I think Nick's another guy you can talk to. His final race for the time being.
Well, I was gonna save Nick for last, but
Yeah,
there's a method to the madness
I was
there.
just kind of looking through Carter Dyson with a P5.
Oh, Carter will
Great
get
run
talked
for
to
him.
as well as Steve Loving there for his finish as well.
Yeah, so
Definitely,
let's get
there were
the
just
Gudge in here.
there were a lot of stories going throughout this one. So
Yeah.
let's see if we got him. Did he just disconnect? I think he just disconnected.
Find him. Yeah, I don't see him in any chats.
Well, that's okay. Anytime you disconnect, that's a big opportunity for us to bring in one of our favorites to talk to at any time. So, I mean, what is up, Mr. DeTalent, Rainin Jackson in the booth? How you doing, man?
All right, I'm glad to hear that voice again.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to be back.
Yeah.
It's definitely a rough 3-week period there, but hopefully we'll be back
Yeah.
firing on all cylinders soon enough.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, this race, man, what an event, right? I mean,
Oh man, it was something.
so I talk us through the finale here. You came out with a P14. I mean, what was it like for you at the end here, getting to that point and making that fight? It looks like you gained 9 positions overall this race. You definitely were just outside of the top 10 for most of it. Any scary moments? Anything you really had to deal with?
uh, maybe only a few butt clenching moments to speak of, but it just had to do with a couple little cautions. But yeah, I just trying to keep the tires under it, trying not to uh, spin myself basically, because this track is loose with this setup and these cars are crazy. But yeah, I was just trying to run and just have a consistent day and just basically hold on to it and not get any damage, and I did pretty good at that. So just trying to stay in my own lane, really.
Absolutely. I mean, in terms of Evil Empire SimSport, Logan Monteith, of course, got up there pretty quick. He was traveling through that pack. Did you see him blasting past you at some point?
No, I actually pitted when they did, so it
Oh.
put me back in 23rd, 24th again, and yeah, just ran my way back up. Yeah, I didn't want to stay out because I was worried about being up front on the old tires, so I wanted to get new tires on it and hopefully at least get by some of the people that didn't go in. So I think we did that. Satisfied with P14 and a whole race car.
Absolutely. Well, we're going to Bristol next week. What are you looking forward to that? How do you think you're gonna do?
Oh man, that's gonna be a fun one. It's probably be another one like this. I'm just gonna try and keep the nose on the front of it, and hopefully avoid everybody else's misfortunes, and just see what we can do. I like the short tracks. That's one of my favorite things. But man, these guys up front are fast, so we're just gonna hope for good team points today.
Absolutely. Well, anybody you want to thank before we head you out?
Yeah, think my parents were watching. I want to thank them for tuning in. They enjoy watching. Broadcast always makes it that much more fun to watch. Um, Anybody else who's watching, I know I had a couple buddies watching. Thank you guys for tuning in. And all of our Evil Empire Sim Sports sponsors. Uh, can't thank them enough for giving us some cool logos to put on the car and really just um, cheering us on week in and week out.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. We'll go ahead and bring you back to you guys so you can kind of debrief post this race. And good luck to you next week.
Yep, thank you guys.
I'll move him back.
All right. And so looking after that for Mr. DeTalent, I think it's a good opportunity. We can go ahead and talk to Mr. Nick Seraph here as well.
I think Nick's definitely one we need to talk to.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull Nick in. And we'll grab Carter Dyson as well following that.
Nick is on his way down here now.
Mr. Nick Seraph, Rain and Jackson in the booth. How you doing, man?
What's going on, guys?
Hey, I mean, we said it before. Parting is such sweet sorrow. I mean, I know that you're kind of teetering on it, but we know you'll be back either way. Pulling in here, a 13th with a very good run all night long. You gotta tell me, Nick, what's the secret? What's been the improvement for you? You've been running great these past couple races.
Not much. I finally figured out what the issue was with my wheel, I think. So it's now that it actually works right, I can be competitive. And tonight it showed it. I mean, I drove from 23rd or 22nd, whatever it was, up into the top 10 for a brief minute, and then got freight trained by some faster guys. But now I'm happy with that run. I really wish I would have went out with a top 10 in my final race, but I mean, it is what it is. I'll take it all day long.
Absolutely. I mean, coming out of that last caution cycle there, you were definitely looking at some big guys flying past you, some really fast guys, and Jacob Bradley, Logan Monteith, Jonathan Cofield, all trying to barrel roll their way on them fast tires. What's it like, kind of trying to fend off your position when guys like that are just, they've got a better grip at this point and they've got the speed to kind of move past you, while it's also like three wide fighting traffic back there.
Yeah, it's pretty intense. They like you try to anticipate what line they're gonna run, knowing they're faster, and you just try and either take that line away or I don't know, run a line up so they're kind of halfway behind you. I tried once they got by me. I mean, there was nothing I could do. I just tried latching onto Logan's back bumper and ended up running my fastest lap of the race, like on lap 81 or whatever it was. So I mean, they're definitely quick. They know what they're doing, and if I played the strategy just a little different, I think I probably could have been there competing with them in the top 5 maybe. But I'll take a 13th. I mean, I pit once and didn't get any damage. I kept it clean all race, so I'm happy with it.
Absolutely. Anybody you want to thank here? I mean, this will be anything you want to say in general. This will be the last time we get to talk to you for a little while, unless you're able to kind of just jump in, maybe during a race here and just chat with us for a minute for the rest of the season. Anything you want to say, anybody you want to thank, or what you want to leave us with, man?
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I gotta thank my wife for letting me do this and spending my Thursdays with a bunch of guys on the internet instead of spending the time with her and a baby. But yeah, I'm gonna miss running with the guys for sure. I've made a lot of good friends here, and glad everybody's enjoying the league as being one of the original guys that started the league. It's pretty surreal seeing how big the league's grown in such a short amount of time. So glad everybody's enjoying themselves. Thanks to Jackson, Tyler, Logan, all the guys that put it on, Dade, everybody. I mean, it's you for doing the broadcast. You and Tyler kill it every week. I mean, I could go on and on, but thanks to my mom and dad for watching, my family that watches every now and then. So it was fun, and I'm hoping when I come back, I can be a little bit more competitive and put my name at the top of the leaderboard every now and then. Be nice.
I definitely believe we'll see it. And again, I mean, I gotta hope to say here, it's not goodbye forever. It's only goodbye for now. And we'll definitely be seeing you soon, I'm sure.
Oh yeah, that's for sure. I'll be back. I'll still be in the Discord on my phone, checking in with you guys and seeing what's going on. I'll try to catch the race next week on my phone because I'll be chilling in a hotel room, so I'll have some time on my hands. But nah, I just want to thank everybody for growing the league into what it is, and seeing everybody having fun with it, and making it something to be proud of. I'm really proud to be part of that, and glad y'all are having a blast, and hoping to continue on for the next season. And I'll be back. I'll be back bigger and better. That's for sure.
That's great to hear. Well, once again, good luck with what's coming for you. We hope to see you once again real soon here, and of course, happy birthday to you, man.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you. It's pretty surreal. My last race is on my birthday, but it's all good. I'll be back, and I'm ready to kick some butt when I come back for sure.
Absolutely. Great finish for you. Thanks so much, Nick.
Thanks, Rain. See you guys.
All right, as we cycle Nick out, I do believe. Let's see here. I mean, I've got a couple of people I definitely want to see here. I think
One person I want to see is Mr. Jonathan Cofield, because I know he was involved in a wreck with maybe 10 to go. I know he started up front, he fell back to the back, he got back up to the front, and then had that pit call towards the end. So
yes,
maybe
indeed.
that's somebody to look for.
Yeah, let's go ahead and pull in Jonathan. I was thinking the same thing. I was trying to look for his name here to see where he finished.
I think it was a P9 for Jonathan.
Yeah, very nice. Jonathan, can you hear us? It's Rain and Jackson in the booth.
Yeah, buddy, I got you.
Hey, Jonathan. So, I mean, pretty incredible run for most of the night from you. The payday machines were absolutely dominating, as they tend to do. But it seems like you had a really tight opportunity to, maybe pull off the hat trick for yourself tonight, running pretty competitively there for the most part, or at least get a podium. And it looks like on that last pit cycle where you and Jacob and Logan all pitted in, you didn't quite make up the ground that they were able to get a hold of there. What exactly happened for you, man?
No, just trying to drive too hard to get by everybody. I think I lost it coming off of two there, and lost some more spots. But the fall off on the tires really wasn't that much, so it was really hard to pass. I think I passed a couple people up top, and I think every caution was just trying to get one or two spots, and then kind of count, see which lane had the most cars in it, on the choose, and just trying to get positions that way, because it was hard to pass and the cautions were so close together.
Absolutely. I mean, coming back up, it's nothing to scoff at in general. From being at a point of podium for most of the race, and even with a rough pit cycle, and them cautions helping cycle you back, getting up to a top 10 position here for your finish, definitely nothing to scoff at all. Next week we're heading to Bristol. How you feeling about the short track?
I like Bristol if we can keep it clean, get some long runs. these ARCA cars, if you can stay on the bottom the whole time and get a long run, that's actually the faster way around. But we'll see. Charlotte wasn't really. It's not one of my tracks I circle, so just good to get a top 10 out of it.
Absolutely. Anybody you want to thank or anything before you? Any final thoughts before we head you out of here?
Oh yeah, I want to thank you guys for doing the broadcast. Can't wait to back and watch. I hope everybody at home enjoyed the show. My teammates at Payday, 60 Feet 6 Foundation, Shark RC, Painting the Grass, Home Smart Evergreen, all this great sponsors we got that keep this league rolling. Just hope we put on a good show for everybody.
All right. Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck to you next week. Great finish here tonight, and look forward to talking to you again, maybe in a podium next week.
I hope so.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Appreciate it, man.
As we get ready to cycle Jonathan out.
Jonathan, I mean, coming off 2 straight wins.
Absolutely. I mean, I definitely had him pegged for the hat trick tonight. And that's just how easy it can go with a pit cycle. I mean, we saw it with Blake Hoppy too. It can be just enough to not get you quite back where you want to go. Blake, unfortunately, also getting involved in a wreck. But, there's 2 people I want to talk to, and I think it would be best served in our interest because I think, they're probably by their haulers together talking about what happened since they're on teams. It looks like we got at least one of them right here, but they both had some interesting runs. Let's take a look. It's the Boyles, both Michael and Adam, catching you guys here. It's Rain and Jackson up in the booth. How you guys doing?
We're doing all right. I thought I was working with Peter. He was helping me with the tire strategy, and we decided to stay out, obviously, and just try and see what would happen there. But then, unfortunately, Nick got loose and wrecked me, but at least I saved it. But that kind of messed us up, but that's all good, it's a part of it.
Yeah, absolutely. To touch on that, Michael, I mean, watching throughout the race, I'd commented on it earlier, you'd made a pretty massive drive up to the front, falling just outside of the top 5. I think at one point you were somewhere around 24, 26 positions made up over the course of the first 20 or so laps. It was impressive.
Thank you. Yeah, to be honest with you, I did not practice at all, and my game lagged when I was qualifying, and I didn't even get a qualifying lap in, and my PC was going crazy. But thank the Lord, at least we got back up there. It's good to have teammates that help you with strategy and all that good stuff. It was a fun race, but I hate the way it ended for our team. But Peter did good.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I grab you here, Adam, I mean, I do want to make a note here. I mean, you had a little PC issue there. That's not the first person that's had some rough PC issues with iRacing here tonight. I don't know if there was an issue with a recent update or whether everybody's internet collectively had some stuff, but Charles had a bad stint of it at the end there for himself. He ended up just disconnecting. Tyler's crashed multiple times just watching the broadcast. Well, I mean, not all the time. Mine had a couple of freezes. Mine had a couple of freezes that were really bizarre, and I have, draw cars on set to max so that it always catches everything, and there were times where it just wasn't picking up guys on the other side of the track for some reason. So, I heard a couple of other people say some other stuff happened. Collective issue.
I think for Navita drivers, they had an update for them. That could possibly be it because I haven't updated it yet. I didn't have enough time to update it. So I think if someone might be running that, that could have messed it up. But I think that was my problem. I didn't save enough time to try and get all that stuff done before the race. And
yeah, we're watching Outer Banks beforehand, so
yeah.
So Michael, what you're saying is the problem you had tonight, it was a driver issue.
Yes. So yeah, well I checked. Yeah. Okay. I just got that. Yeah. You are 100% right, my good sir.
Well, let's
Joke
turn
took
it
a
over.
second to land.
It was a good one. All the best jokes
Yeah.
take a minute.
That was a
Add-
fantastic one.
pivot here to you, Adam. Of course,
I
you finished just in front of Michael in 23rd. You had a little bit of a lower run this evening. You were kind of fighting around. We were watching you dogfight around 15th pretty early on. And after that, you advanced a little higher up, but for the most part, kind of lingered out there. At one point, I think you did restart somewhere in the top 10. I remember seeing you. But how was this race for you? I mean, did you have some issues with tire wear? Was it just not your night?
it so the thing with racing, okay, it's unpredictable. With cautions, you don't know what's gonna happen. And so not having practice because I was doing homework, okay, in Outer Banks.
That's a good reason.
And just different factors like that can affect the race.
Driver
And
issues.
so okay, wow. Anyway, I was just chilling in the back because we had a massive field tonight, which is awesome for the league, but it means it's gonna be a wreck fest, right? But we tried to keep it calm. The tires, like Cofield said, was not wearing a lot. I mean, after 20, 30 laps, it started to wear, but it wasn't a massive fall off. So it's what my usual thought is Charlotte. It just wasn't there tonight. Cause the setup was a little different than usual. I feel like, once like the start of the race, it was tight and loose at the same time. If you're tight and you tried to get it free, you're gonna wreck. So you just had to be careful with it. That's what I was trying to do. And Jackson, don't look back, but I did make some, even though I was in the back, I was trying to like get as up to the field, and I made some risky moves, some
I
questionable
know you
moves.
split 3 wide on a restart with everyone around you.
Yeah.
I was
At
gonna
first-
go 3 wide top, and then he went to the middle, and I was like, I'm gonna back out.
Yeah.
Right.
I should have done that for an admin. I don't know what y'all do about that.
Well,
But they are checking out, so.
In
Yeah.
regards to that, I mean, Abraham had a pretty good run. I know that he moved out Racers Anonymous, pretty much took on Impact full time, I believe, right with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
sir.
And he was
W.
he was pretty much running the 15 the higher teens rather into the early 20s there. Ended up back at 29th. He was still up 6 positions off of overall, so not a bad night for him. But I think the real story here for Impact is probably Peter Stewart, who had a very incredible night and
Yeah.
off of some really good pit cycling and really great battling. We watched him
For
a
sure.
couple of times throughout the race. Managed to get it. As I imagine he's probably around here somewhere. I don't know. He is. Let's
he's here.
see.
He's an impact.
Let's
Bring
Yeah.
my boy here.
Peter.
I just want to say, our impact team has done such a great job, and once we get Jackson Samsel in here, he'll be joining Impact next year in the Truck Series. We'll be up there hopefully. Lord willing, we will.
Yeah.
I
see.
believe in you guys.
Put in a lot of
Peter,
work.
we were talking about you in here. Felt it was only right to try to grab you by the shoulder as you were walking by. Man, finish in 6th position, just outside the top 5, fighting it out with Carter Dyson, Samuel Stoner there. Fantastic race overall from you. How did that feel coming to the end there, especially with that last caution sending the green white checkered? How are you feeling?
Honestly, like, I was so happy when I got around Steve at like, I think it was like lap 83-ish. And when the caution came out, like, I don't know, the life just kind of got sucked out of me because I know I'm not great on restarts. But 6th was pretty good. I'm pretty happy with that. It was way better than I expected coming in to tonight.
Yeah,
But
absolutely, man.
yeah.
I mean, for the prospects, I mean, Impact, it was a rough night for Impact overall, but you salvaged a lot for the team. It's definitely going to matter in team points in the end. So that, I
Thank you,
mean,
Peter.
fantastic move. Question to all 3 of you. You can kind of take it one at a time, I guess. Don't start talking over one another. But next week we're heading to Bristol, the Ambiguity Music race there. How are you guys feeling on short track racing? We're coming back.
Hey, go ahead, Mike.
No, you go ahead. I'll let you go.
Okay. So as a team, I believe these next 3 races are probably some of the best races of the year. I know Michael doesn't really like Bristol, but we'll try to walk through it earlier next week. See what we can do for the next 3 races, because Bristol, the thing about it is if you can, it's all about the diamonding. If you can diamond the corner right, you're gonna be fast, okay? And then Richmond is bottom lane. And I just think our team will do a great job. I know we got the facilities for it. It's just if we can put in some effort, some time, we'll definitely be mad fast.
Are we racing originally?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm excited for that.
Cole, come on.
Come on, man.
I mean, yeah, my bad. You're right. That's my bad. I'm more excited for Richmond. For me, Bristol, just me as a driver. I gotta do more practice there, but I'm just not quick. So I'm definitely gonna have to work this week as a team. That's gonna definitely need to work on that. But I'm excited for Richmond. And are we Las Vegas? Is the
Las
final
Vegas
race?
for the finale. Yeah,
Yep.
it's gonna
Yes,
it's
indeed.
gonna be mad fast. It's gonna be crazy.
Excited for that. But hey, this season overall, I mean, obviously a bunch of bad things has happened, but as a team, I know we're fast, and I think we can end it off on a good note, hopefully.
Maybe
But
we'll
next
see
year, we'll
Adam back in victory lane as well.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
Hopefully sometime too soon. I've been doing a very good job at it.
All right, well,
But-
you guys, thanks so much for your time here. Anybody you want to thank or anything you want to say just before we send you guys back out?
I want to thank you and Jackson for letting us
Yep.
be in here,
Absolutely.
and thank
Yeah,
y'all
thank-
For having internet issues.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, our internet, surprisingly, I can't stand Spectrum. Finally, it's being okay now. I'm actually getting like 100 frames per second now instead of 20. So
That's good.
I'm stoked. I'm stoked. But yeah, I gotta thank Jesus. Without him, we won't be able to do this.
Mhm.
Even though it's rough right now, it's not gonna. I got him to depend on, so everything's all good here in Impact. And
Oh,
yeah.
Awesome.
Once again, y'all did an incredible job in the broadcasting booth, like you always do. But good work to y'all. Where's Tyler at? Is he still out? With
Internet.
Internet, yeah.
So I've been making internet jokes this entire time.
Yep.
Got the McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Bro, I used to get made fun of like crazy in elementary school or middle school. They would just make fun of me for my internet. And now we're iRacing, so
Joke's on them
Yeah.
now, right? So,
I know,
yeah,
right? They're not pro
they're not going in
iRacers.
circles for 100 laps.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's go ahead and close up shop here. We got a couple more guys we got to pull in here, and I need to go ahead and get myself eye strain under control here. So, thank you guys very much, and good luck to you next week.
Bless y'all.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
y'all.
you.
Hope to see y'all soon.
Good night.
All right, man. They're an eventful group. It's always great to talk to all of them. It's cool to. It was interesting to have them all in the booth, but yeah. I mean, at this point, I think we are looking at a couple of other people.
I mean, the top 3 right now are all in the same voice chat.
They are. They're all talking to
So-
each other. Looks like we lost Carter Dyson. I know we wanted to talk to him, but we'll make it up to him next week, I guess.
I know Robert's one that I want to talk to. He's had an eventful day. He was very outspoken on the communications.
Well, we can pull in Robert here, and then we're going to head to the podium.
Sounds good.
Hey, Robert, it's Rain and Jackson in the booth. You got us, man?
Yeah.
Hi. That sounds like the sound of a man who's walking on eggshells right now. What's going on?
Making laps at Bristol, trying to get ready for next week.
Man, the hustle, the grussle on this guy. Look at you. So
It was such a bad night. I'm gonna go and look forward to next week.
well, 18th position. You definitely had better pacing all throughout the night. What do you see that that really happened to you, man? What was the biggest obstacle you were overcoming throughout the night in general?
A bad qualifying.
That'll do it.
That was it. I drove lap 1 real conservative, trying to get heat in the tires so I could rip lap 2. And I went down into turn 1, and right at the apex of 1 and 2, the car settled, and the back end tried to beat the front end out of the corner. And then lap 2 was a mess. so I started what 25th or something, 26th, and then I drove up. I was running 10th at one point just by driving through the field, and then the caution happened where we all pitted. I was still up yonder. It felt like we ran a lot more caution laps than we had. We only ran 33 caution laps. I was shocked when I went and checked all the data.
Yeah, it definitely it wasn't as big of a caution fest as you'd think. It's just a couple of them happened in such quick succession. It felt like it. Um, there was definitely some interesting chat we heard. Chatter coming from different parties on driver radios, and lots of lots of feelings, lots of strong feelings going around. Anything in particular you want to highlight from the night?
I went and looked at it. When I yelled at the 14, it turns out that yeah, he did get crowded and ride close to me, and it was already yellow, but it was me that got into him that caused him to go into the wall and wreck me when I got mad there. I'm not going to apologize for it though.
That's good to know.
I expressed some very passionate emotion, and yeah, it is what it is.
You're just gonna say that you were right.
That's right. I'm gonna stick to my guns on that one.
Stick to your guns, indeed. Well, we're heading to Bristol next week. We know that Michael Gudger. He had an okay run of this tonight. He's a huge fan of Bristol. That's like his spot as a team manager for helping Dade out running Vintage. What do you foresee for your guys for that night? I know Steve had a great run last season.
I'm gonna go optimistic. I'm gonna say 3 out of 4 of us qualify in. I feel like Dade might qualify in. He runs pretty good on short tracks. He's very good at short tracks. But Dade has potential to be pretty high up in the B main and maybe has a chance at the B. So I think at least 3 of our cars will be in the feature event out of the 22 starters. And I can't really say much more. I think we'll have at least, if everything doesn't become a cluster like tonight was, we get 2 top 10 results. Maybe all 3 in the top 10, maybe 1 in the top 5 would be nice. I'm not going to name names because I can't anticipate who's going to perform in what way.
Absolutely. Well, anybody you want to thank before we send you out?
I gotta thank the wife for putting up with me and my racing addiction. She never watches the replays that I send her anyway, or the videos, but just in case she finally does. And then my dad always watches these, but it's way too far past the point where he would have just given up watching it. So other than that, yeah.
That's really great. We love everybody who helps bring people in. So thanks to everybody who ends up tuning in. That does. Thank you very much for the missus for letting you come out here and spend your time doing this stuff. And
did you guys get the top 3 yet?
We're about to pull them in now. It looks like we lost Logan. He was talking to those
said
guys.
He got tired of waiting, I think.
Well, that happens.
It do.
Well, unfortunately,
Jacob
we ran
Bradley
into some
and
issues
Dustin
with
are hanging out
Tyler,
waiting
so.
still.
Yeah, we're gonna go ahead and get them pulled in. Don't want to have them waiting all night. So.
Yeah. All right.
All right.
Party
Thank
on,
you very
guys.
much.
Have a good one.
Yep.
You want to just pull them in together, or you want to go Dustin first?
Yeah, let's get them both in. That's a great idea. Just give them an opportunity. I know they're probably it's kind of late for them, so let's go ahead and get both guys in and give them a chance to talk together here and talk it through since we lost Logan there. Yeah, Dustin, Jacob, it's Rain and Jackson in the booth. You guys got us in here?
Yeah, I gotcha.
Yeah, how you guys doing?
Hey, Dustin. Good to hear from you, man. You as well, Jacob. Yeah, we had some issues with Tyler. He usually regulates these post-show interviews, but we had a little issues with his internet. He had to drop out, so looks like we might not be able to get talk to Logan here tonight, but didn't want to have you guys waiting around forever. Unfortunately, this was just a very eventful one with a lot of people to talk to, so figured we'd try to pull you both in and try to get your perspectives, give you a chance to talk since it seemed like you guys were hanging out by haulers with each other, kind of talking about the race. Pretty incredible run for the most part from both of you guys. I mean, Dustin, save for what, pitting, you were pretty much running top 5 all night. Jacob, what needs to be said, you were leading most of the race, and you pitted and ran back up from somewhere around like 22nd to win this thing. I mean, there's really impressive moves from both of you, and Dustin especially capitalizing on the looseness of Logan there at that one point to pull in the P2. I guess I'll direct this first one to Dustin, man. How you feeling after all of that?
I feel pretty good. So, I mean, you guys pulled me in with like 25 laps in, and I kind of told you what I thought of the race. I just thought we were pretty good, just didn't have anything for Jacob. So, um, to finish P2, I think was a good result. The way we got there was kind of interesting. So we had Logan and Jacob pit, and then I believe I did not pit, and so I stayed out with older rubber, and then when they came out, they were in like, I think Jacob was in 17th place, so I think that was with about 20 to 25 laps to go. So I was feeling pretty good. I just did not anticipate the number of cautions. So with the cautions and the cars wrecking, that moved Jacob and Logan up pretty quickly. So once they were able to get close, it was just a matter of hanging on. So on that last restart, they had gotten past me. I was third, and then, like you said, capitalized on Logan getting loose to take second. So I think we were the second fastest car today. So to end up P2 was a great result.
Yeah, absolutely. And Jacob, I'll toss it over to you, man. Of course, like I said, pretty fantastic way to pull yourself out up there, getting all the way back up to reclaim this victory here. How are you feeling on that last pit cycle? Did you feel pretty confident you were going to find your way back up front?
I was kind of on a split decision with pitting there. I was hoping that I'd pull everybody behind me with me, and that obviously didn't work. We had about half the field pit and half the field didn't. But I knew I had about 5% better tires than the best tire savers, so I was gonna try and drive as hard as I could to get through the field there.
For sure, guys. There were definitely some situations there. Cautions probably, I'm sure, especially with Choose, ended up helping you end up filter back up. I know we were paying very close attention to how you and Logan and Jonathan were pulling back up to the front there. So, in terms of that, Dustin, you were leading at that point, and you had Jacob end up coming hot on your tail. To you in that situation, was it just trying to run as long as you can until he does it, or did you just end up kind of yielding what you could to maybe save some tires?
Yeah, I think P2 was more the target, so I was not trying to fight Jacob at all. I was more trying to fight Logan because it seemed like I could at least, Logan got past me a couple times during the race, but then once he did, it seemed I was able to run a little bit closer to him. So that was always the case, and I figured if I spent too much time fighting Jacob, if Logan was further back, that was going to jeopardize me losing another position. So in the end, it was probably all for naught, right? I mean, I was going to be third, and then Logan got loose or whatever. But yeah, I was not trying to fight Jacob today, especially on the alternate strategies we were on. Like once he had fresher rubber, I was communicating with my team on the radio that I was just going to let him go.
Yeah, and Jacob, for you as well there. I mean, coming around at that end point, you had Logan pretty hard charging on that final restart. Did you feel like he was going to end up getting around you at some point there?
I had a 3-car buffer right on that last green flag run before we got that last long run in, and I thought that we were going to keep that until the end. I'd cut through the field pretty quickly, and when Dustin and Steve took off on the bottom, it brought him with all the way up there with him, and I was like, oh no, he's right behind me again. But I kept my foot in on the outside, got around Steve, went to the inside, got around Dustin, and just kind of set sail from there. I had like 1.5 on him as we are coming out of turn 4, and I thought I was going to get the wipe, but the caution came out right as I got to that start, right as I got to the front stretch there.
Yeah, for sure. There definitely was a very impressive drive from many guys out here tonight. especially this top 5 that really pushed their way to hold off and get back up into position there. We're heading to Bristol next week. How are you guys feeling about your chances on the short track?
I feel pretty good about Bristol. It's one of my favorite tracks. It's actually probably my favorite track. I have a lot of laps at Bristol. Probably my best track out of anything. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have not run Bristol since I last drove it on NASCAR 2002 season, probably circa 2005, 2006 maybe. So it'll be an interesting week. I probably won't put too much time into it, just because I don't know, other things going on. And then I'm actually going to be missing Richmond due to a business trip. So we'll put in a little bit of effort to try and learn Bristol. But I know Bristol's usually kind of a wreck fest, right? So if I can qualify in that, top 20, get to the A main, and just kind of let the cards fall from there, I think we'll be all right for a top 10. I hope.
Absolutely. Well, we're closing up here. I want to give you guys the opportunity to give some final remarks. Dustin, I'll let you go first there. Any final things you want to say about the race, or anybody you want to thank before we get ready to head off here?
Yeah, no, just the race was a fantastic, I think, 3-way battle, kind of 6-way battle at times, and we lost some guys, but it was great racing with Jacob and Logan all race. They're super clean, super fast, so that's always a treat. I want to thank everyone who was watching, my parents, Tom and Deb, my wife, Rebecca, and any of my other friends or family who are watching. I appreciate you guys. And then I wanted to thank our sponsors, so our race sponsor, Charles Broderick and the Ambiguity Music, and series sponsor M99 GRAFX, and then of course Rain, you, and Tyler, and I guess Jackson now up in the booth this race. So we appreciate everything you guys do, and yeah, on to the next one.
All right. Yeah, Jacob.
I want to thank all the guys for racing me clean as I cut through the field there. I knew it was a bit hectic at times. I want to thank my parents for watching at home. I want to thank the series sponsor, M99 GRAFX, as well as the race sponsor, the Ambiguity Music. And I want to thank my team. I kind of have a better group of guys behind me at Payday Racing.
Awesome. Excellent, guys. Well, thank you so much. We'll let you guys get back to doing what you're doing before we, pulled you out here and had a chance to get to you. Sorry it took a little bit there, but with Tyler kind of dropping out, he's usually the one that handles interviews, so threw us for a loop for a minute there. But Jackson thankfully came in to try to help out, because if I had to try to drag anybody into Discord, it kind of kills my computer. So
no, we appreciate everything you do, man. Thanks for doing this, and hope you're feeling better. It's good to have you back.
Yeah, and also thank you guys for the 500 as well. Your casting was great for that.
We're trying to emulate you. You're the benchmark. So if we made you happy, then that's good enough for us.
Well, you definitely did. So as I said, thank you guys so much. We'll let you get back to where you guys were.
Awesome.
And we'll get ready to close out here. So yeah, that's pretty much the end of it at this point. And as we kind of take a look here and get a look at the results for the race.
And while you're doing that, I just want to thank some of the key people who help us out.
Absolutely.
M99 GRAFX, Logan. He does a lot for us. He's been one of the first sponsors of this league. He helps out day in, day out. All of the admins, I'm probably going to miss a name, but Nathan, you, Rain, Tyler, Robert, Dade. Am I missing somebody? If I am, I apologize. But all of our admins who help out, and then our sponsors, Round Here Entertainment, Shark RC, the Ambiguity Music, 60'6", Hot Rod Hobbies, Vitesse Systems, ACTC, Paint the Grass, HomeSmart Evergreen, the list goes on. Everyone who helps us out, Extreme Sim for giving us the platform to broadcast these races, you, Rain, and Tyler for broadcasting the races and giving us a great thing to look back at once we're all done from a driver's standpoint. And everyone who watches these streams, because they're the reason we broadcast these, just so everyone can watch. And we're glad they enjoyed in the process. And then, you know, I think the ones we need to thank the most are the drivers who keep this league going, and we work with them and they work with us, and we just create a better product for everyone. So
Absolutely. Well, yeah, thank you as well, Jackson. You know, everything you do and everything you did to get this thing started. You are the architect. So, I mean, you know, this is really cool, the stuff that we get to do and the races we get to put on here. And, you know, we're working out kinks every single week, trying to put on the best kind of presentation that we possibly can. I think it's going to be a lot more refined by the time we get to trucks. We'll probably have a little bit more of a way of doing things that'll make a little more sense, be a little more streamlined too. So, but we're learning along the way, and it's all thanks, as he said, to the sponsors that give us that opportunity. Once again, want to thank M99 GRAFX, Logan Monteith, being the series sponsor for the past 2 seasons. You can go follow him at M99 GRAFX. It's M99 GRAFX over on Instagram. Show him some love. He makes incredible iRacing wraps and paints. Of course, our broadcast partner, Extreme Sim TV, and Matthew, they stream all kinds of other races. So you're gonna, I mean, not just for watching us, you're gonna want to check out those other races too. So you know, go ahead and subscribe down below. Turn on the bell notification. A lot of these streams are posted in advance. You can set a reminder so that you get a notification when it comes out that we're doing it. And then, of course, this race sponsor in particular, want to give one more thank you to Charles Broderick and the Ambiguity Music for sponsoring our race here at Charlotte Motor Speedway. Charles Broderick, he is a former radio host of the Drone Zone, and he creates music as the Ambiguity, and he sculpts ambient and warm sounds, warm drone music beats, suited for passive listening and enjoyment, streaming, and podcast background sounds, under a partial Creative Commons license. So, if you're looking for some decent background music for your stuff, he's got a Creative Commons license. You can go check it out, possibly use it for yourselves. It's been described best as lush, welcoming, and reflective, and at worst as an air conditioner. You can find the Ambiguity's music for purchase on Bandcamp and streaming on all major platforms, including Spotify. But if you want to really help him out and give a big thanks, head over to his Bandcamp page, theambiguity.bandcamp.com, where you'll be able to, you know, give him money directly for his work and buy individual stuff, and maybe even some physical items if he ends up having stuff like that out there. So make sure to go give them some love. Very, very grateful. He's also sponsoring next week as well, so you'll hear the spiel once more. We're very grateful for him. I've personally listened to the stuff. It's very good. So, you know, as I said, though, we're going to round out here at Charlotte. I am definitely feeling the effects of staring at a computer screen for roughly 3 hours, and it is causing quite some pain already. So I'm going to get out of here, and we will see you guys next week at Bristol, where we're going to get some fun short track racing and probably shake out what's going to happen in these final races of this season, determining the points champion. So make sure you tune in next Thursday. We'll be here on Extreme Sim TV. Thank you very much, everyone, and we hope you have a wonderful evening. So long.